Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you roll with Charmin, don't you knock on the party. It's the most rated back in everybody. It's our party,
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson. Before they were legends, they were lost souls looking for their sound. You want to be a songwriter?
Not really. You are a songwriter.
Discover the true, untold story of Sue Brewer, the extraordinary woman behind outlaw country music, starring Mandy Moore and featuring T.J. Osborne.
They call it the Boar's Nest. It's just my apartment, but you never know who will show up.
In a new scripted Audible original.
Any advice?
Yeah, to steal something whiskey can't.
The Boar's Nest, Sue Brewer and the birth of outlaw country music. Listen on Audible.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey Clark, and got a packed show today. Plenty of company, and I love it. But as is tradition on Wednesdays here, we have the one, the only Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show there at 106.5 FM, the Mobile area here in the state. And of course, he's editor-in-chief at 1819 News. Jeff, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. So, tell the audience what you're telling me earlier. I was thinking today was the last day. I was ready to throw a big old celebration about it being the final day for the legislative session. And I hear there's already somebody throwing a party tonight.
Yes, but picture this. So today is sine die, and they do gavel out and call it a day. If there's a party tonight, and 90% of the members not being really from anywhere in this listening area in Montgomery, they're all heading home. You know what I mean? They're not sticking around for a party. They're tired of this place. So what I suspect is, in order to drive up participation in the last night, the last day of the year festivities, they're going to hold it over till tomorrow.
Oh. So you think they're going to be hungover the next day in session? Does that ever happen?
They're hungover. A lot of them are hungover every day in session.
So I can't blame some of them. So do you expect anything nuts to happen, or is gambling dead? I saw there was this weird, let's hold back the Alabama Farm Center legislation. So do you expect any surprises here at the finish line?
No, ethics is now formally dead. The Ag Center thing was really interesting, but it looks like the powers that be have relented, and Shay Shelnut, a senator from Trussville, Jefferson County, kind of called their bluff. They stripped money out for a big alpha priority, so Shelnut just starts filibustering all these House bills on the Senate floor and threatening to, because the clock's coming up, the clock's about to hit midnight, and it's all about to be over. And you have this guy who's just trying to run clock. They need him out of the way. So cooler heads prevailed, and they gave the money back to the Ag Center this morning. But, man, it was a topsy-turvy 18 hours or so.
Do you think ethics gets across the finish line here?
No, ethics is done. That got defeated in committee, so that is going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Well, so, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more next week, but just kind of on first blush, what do you think of this session? How would you grade this session?
It was a very strange, unusual session. And I'll tell you what's happened, Joey. Like, historically in Alabama, I mean, for 100 years, it was Democrat versus Republican, like most everywhere in the country, and then Washington, D.C. Republicans have taken over post BP oil settlement. It's North versus South. That's what the division was. There was a schism. It was like when you go to an event and there's lawmakers. It was like a damn 8th grade dance, and all the North Alabama guys would be on one side of the room, and the South Alabama guys would be on the other side of the room. That sort of subsided, and the new thing is House versus Senate. The House and the Senate are just so far apart on a lot of the hot button issues of the day when you watch it, and there's not really a working relationship there. These House guys or these Senate guys, they barely ever see each other on each other's floor. It's really kind of crazy to think, oh, those guys must know each other. Those guys who work on the House floor never go to the Senate. The guys who work in the Senate never go to the House. There is no, like, really apparent, with the exception of a few members individually,
right?
There's no apparent working relationship between the two chambers.
Well, that seemed to show up in some of these car crashes here at the end. That I guess I saw some senators saying, I didn't see these changes to the last second. Why should I look at that? Like, like a lack of communication. And I know there are only so many minutes in the day, and there's a lot of different things for all the members to look at in their own right. But it's amazing to me that you still have legislation come to the floor in little old Alabama that people haven't had time to read or really get fully briefed on even.
Yeah, well, the gambling bill is a good example. A conference committee happens at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday last week, and then they're voting on it at 5:30 in the House after only handing out copies of the bill at like 5 p.m., and it's like 100-something pages. Well, when is that ever good government? Why would you ever expect that from a Republican supermajority, Joey? It's just kind of crazy. Yeah. But the Senate got in there like, no. Well, a lot of them were like, no. But the dirty little secret is you need that 3/5 vote for a constitutional amendment. Guess what? Couldn't get there. Couldn't get to 21, and here we are.
Again, folks, talking to Jeff Poore. Now, I've been talking about it actually the last few days, just because it caught my interest. I think it's one of those nonpartisan or bipartisan issues that everybody who's a parent should consider. Everybody has children. Of course, I wrote about this week Senator Brett teaming up with a lot of other senators wanting to get kids 13 and younger off social media. And I think also the bill says Facebook and other social media can't target 17 and younger with their algorithms, whatever that means. So, I mean, you're a parent. What do you think about kids on social media and in general, this smartphone revolution?
We had to write laws to perform duties that parents ought to be performing. Makes me a little nervous. But I mean, they've been doing this forever, right? The commercials you could show during cartoons on Saturday morning are different from the ones you could show at any other time. Where you put this, what cereals you put on the cereal? Oh, I don't know. You know, like government is trying to raise our children for us sometimes, where parents just aren't getting the job done, and that always makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I tend to agree. I guess tobacco comes to mind, and that was some of the argument that Joe Camel's targeting kids at a young age with all these cartoons, and they even brought it up with vapes. Like all these, what adult wants bubblegum flavored vapes? I'm like, you might be surprised, guys. But yeah,
yes, we have a lot of weird people out there.
But I do look at it going, like, can't we just solve this at a more local level? For instance, like if you run a public school system, you can't have smartphones during the day. Like there seem to be a lot of fixes, including just parents being parents, that would solve this problem other than a huge federal takeover of social media.
Or sometimes we're just messaging, right? It's just a messaging bill. It's a virtue signaling effort. And God bless Katie Britt and all these people who mean well, but I think we know what is going on here.
Now, do you think Trump's going to go to jail?
Yeah, if he goes to jail, you might as well clinch it for Trump. It's over.
Yeah, where do you think this is going? Because I've been saying on the show here, despite the polling, despite what does seem like a good trend for Trump, I don't want to get my expectations or hopes up. I continue to say this is going to be a miracle if he actually gets back into the White House.
It is remarkable. Think about this for a moment. A twice impeached candidate with who knows how many felony charges, and then he is facing an incumbent, which has always got its own challenges when you go head to head with an incumbent. But add all this up, everything Trump's working against him, and he's pulling off something the Republican hasn't done in a poll since Bush versus Kerry and leading in the polls. What's going on here? Like I mean, he's defying gravity. Theoretically, if you told me 15 years ago and you put this in front of me and you said, okay, here's what Trump's got, here's what Biden has, who's winning this race, and you'd be like, Biden's got to be stopping him, and that's how it should be. But they're just something very off about the electorate here, and I mean, if I'm a Democrat and I'm Joe Biden, I see this, Joey, and I'm looking at it, I can't feel good about this. We should be cooperating this guy, and we're not. We're getting beat.
Well, and, it's fascinating time culturally because with all these student protests going on, the left, the Democrats are very much getting squeezed. Like, I guess Macklemore just came out with a pretty hard-hitting anti-Israel, anti-Zionist song supporting the protesters. But at one point in that song, he goes, oh, by the way, F Biden, and we ain't voting for you. And I'm like, whoa, it's a fascinating moment where I think some of the left's extremities, like the extreme parts of it, are they're fighting back against the establishment, like this Frankenstein monster they've created almost.
Well, I mean, some of these I'm kind of like, well, you could keep those guys, right? But you're right. These where they don't really fit in anywhere. Well, maybe that's the whole takeaway here. This no one wakes up when you're 18 to 22 and whatever it was, me popping Tylenol and drinking Gatorade. The last thing on my mind was anything like this, and I just you wonder like what kind of person, what kind of people these protesters are. They're misfits. They don't really fit into any category, and this is their way of like blowing off a little steam. I'm convinced.
Do you think too much is being made of it from, say, the official Republicans that? All right, we just mentioned a lot of the virtue signaling. To me, some of it is virtue signaling, and then some of it goes too far, where I think this latest anti-Semitism bill that passed the House, it violating all sorts of good rules, in particular the First Amendment.
Yeah, I think the media are playing it up. I think that the Republicans are creating a perception of what it is. Now, I do think it's problematic for Biden because it creates this notion. It's not so much the people that are out there protesting, but it's like it's associated with Biden. It's the brand, right? Like they may not be directly linked, but people are going to look at it. They're not going to spend more than 30 seconds on really doing an analysis of it. They're going to look and say, oh, those are just Biden supporters or Democrats or lefties or whatever. I don't like that. I'm voting on the right. I'm voting Republican. That's the problem there. It's just the quick take. Like, you just look at it at face value, don't really do a deep dive, and you just think, oh, those guys are Biden guys. I'm going to go, I don't like that. I'm going to go do something else with my vote.
And yet it seems to be chewing at that foundation for the Democratic Party, destroying a very fragile coalition. But it's not just that. It's, I guess, young black voters, in particular young black men under 40, let's say, are very much moving away from the Democrats. I mean, should we really be shocked, though? Because if anything, the Democrats have become the party of awfuls, affluent white female liberals.
Well, yeah. It's not like nobody who wants to be the purple-haired, like crazy, angry lesbian. I mean, is that what you want to identify with? It's a weird time, and that this has caught on the way it has. That this has this much like attention. And this much energy, too. It's not the protest of, like, the Vietnam era at all. This is something just totally bizarre. And, I mean, I hate to be, like, all tinfoil hat on you here, but I just think that they're importing some of this from other countries, that you're seeing, like, maybe the effects of multiculturalism, and maybe some of the student visas are bringing some of this with them.
Now, I'll leave you with this and let you get out of here. Apparently, Hillary Clinton has a new feminist musical called Suffs, S-U-F-F-S. Are you going to go see it?
I was going to, but I couldn't get tickets.
But they have non-binary performers. You might want to try to get some scalped ones.
I tell you what, though, the they-them scouts and then now this is really upsetting me where we're going culturally. It really is like the end of like a great civilization, isn't it?
I did see that, where Boy Scouts are now scouting America. And I'm like, isn't scouting a synonym for grooming? I don't know. Well, maybe that's wrong.
Hey.
Maybe that's wrong of me.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the time as always, Jeff. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so?
Twitter.com/Jeff_Poor. I'll put it all out there for you.
Well, thank you, sir. We'll talk again next week, if not sooner. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Joey.
Again, folks, Jeff Poor there. Always great having him on the program here. 272-9228 if you want to hop in on the show. We've got a full cast of characters, though, here today. I mean, Eddie Bader's here.
How you doing, Joey?
Good. What's going on with that?
I don't know. Turn off my mic.
Hello?
From my mic. That's not from my mic.
Where is that coming from? Is it like your... Or is it one of y'all's computers? Or are y'all watching the stream?
Not on the stream.
We're now all of a sudden getting echo. Echo.
How about now?
No, still here in the back. So if yeah, that's odd. We're going to have to fix that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck that is.
Did you put some LSD in my water? Did you put some LSD in my water?
That's how it's feeling right now. Like it's all falling apart. Yeah, where is that coming from?
I don't know.
Well, we'll have to work on it, folks.
Okay.
How about this? Let's hit a break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
In Alabama, more than 200,000 of our friends and neighbors are living without health coverage. Often folks can't stay healthy enough to keep their jobs. We need to fix this. Contact Governor Kay Ivey and let her know. Now is the time to close the coverage gap and cover Alabama.
Paid for by the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
It's officially festival season. Looking for a weekend full of entertainment that the whole family can enjoy? Join us in historic downtown Prattville this weekend for the Prattville City Fest.
Friday, May 10th at 6 p.m., enjoy a concert performance featuring the Tip Tops. And then Saturday from 9 till 4, come back for a day of arts and crafts, food, entertainment, and kids' activities. Admission is only $2. Kids 5 and under are free.
The Prattville City Fest on Main Street in downtown Prattville, Friday and Saturday, May 10th and 11th. Visit PrattvilleCityFest.com for more info.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I think we solved the problem. We had an extra microphone on, I'll put it that way. But Byron Sheehy is here in the studio.
Joey, what's going on, man?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Well, good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess Eddie's over there. He's looking very orange today. Would you say?
He's willing, Dylan, whatever he's doing.
Eddie, you're looking orange today.
Good.
Orange Man good?
Orange Man good.
I don't know. You're starting to look like, turn your camera a little bit there. You're starting to look like Cheeto Mussolini.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you get on the scale today? Because I did.
Yeah, I got on the scale. What do you weigh?
205.
Yeah,
Joey.
I'm 222. But come on, man.
Just checking.
How much do you bench?
Well, it depends. I can lift a tray full of food from the counter to the table.
Yeah, because if we're going to do this like weight thing, like Joey weighs
I don't
more,
know.
and I do need to lose, say, 50 pounds.
I'm not a bench guy, but usually you pick something heavy in front of me. It's in my way. I got to pick it up.
How about
More
this?
than
I'll
people.
try to get to the same exact weight of you and Greg, and then live on the stream, we're all going to have to take our shirts off.
Oh, I'm down with that.
Okay.
I wear a T-shirt.
So long as we can just use 12-ounce weights whenever we're doing this.
Oh, just
12-ounce weights?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not afraid to step up to a 40-ounce curl.
It does actually, those weights up your heart rate. So, maybe it's healthy or something. Let's go to Joe. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Yeah, that last conversation, it seemed like there's a lot of inactivity going on out there. People don't know what to do. And I think a lot of this is outside international government agenda to take us down. The Cobra already has us entranced. And I guess we're waiting on a mongoose to break that trance.
I was about to say, I think Trump's our mongoose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope so, but if we move before that entrancement broken, that Cobra's going to kill us. People better realize this may be deeper than our government. This is deep. We're on the verge of losing this country.
And I think it is wise for people to think sometimes that it isn't just about nations. There are groups of people that go across borders and have relationships, and they very much have a plan that they're trying to push. That's no doubt.
But it's something that I'm extremely worried about.
What's the most worrisome part?
Then we're beginning to take our money and our property, and we have to go to the Civil War to keep them away from us. And then the social stuff that goes, it's deadly. Have you ever been overseas and seen civil wars?
I've not, personally. Where did you see one?
Well, over in the Middle East, back in '73 when things were going down and stuff. The hunger, the collateral damage.
Right.
It can happen here. I hope we never see it.
Well, and I think folks might, I'll put it to you this way, Joe. There are folks who might be listening to this phone call at first and like, oh, Joe's wearing his tinfoil hat. But the fact that you've seen this happen with your own eyes shows you how quick that reality can come on. And we should not, to your point, kid ourselves that couldn't happen here.
When people stand up for their freedom, they're coming against somebody who wants to take away that freedom. And that involves a civil war. Now, are we fixing to lose our freedom?
Well, we'll see.
We're going to fight like hell to keep
I don't want to see this, but I don't think people can wrap their heads around it. They've been too safe too long.
Right.
That's what I mean. We'll see. Like, I don't know how people are going to react. I mean, you're right. If like food and water and people can't make ends meet in a really awful
Not
way.
even their own houses, displacing the people. Death is horrible.
Yeah. Well,
but anyway, people need to think about this because this government's in bad shape. It's in trouble.
Well, I appreciate the call, Joe.
Okay, thank you.
Joey, help me out.
You got a rope and rickety stool over there I could use?
No.
Okay.
So the international government angle.
Mhm.
So we're letting our government off the hook. Is that what we're doing?
No, I think our government's probably working with other aspects.
Complicit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I would view it. I would, like, just to be blunt, I didn't know we'd go here today all of a sudden, but I really do appreciate the call, Joe. I view more of what most of our government is done is run out of the intelligence agencies and the State Department.
Mhm.
And that overlaps very much with the British. And, like, look at Ukraine and what's going on there and the Western effort. That's sort of this global community. Now, the United States is probably the biggest, that government is the biggest on the block. And there are clearly, challengers now rising, China and Russia. And, India, we were talking about this the other day. India is happy to be friends with everybody, but they're not going to be beholden to anyone.
Right. That's right.
And, you better believe if Africa can get their stuff together, like if they can get some sound rule of law in those countries.
That's a big if, dude.
It is.
Too many ifs there.
It's just, I always go back to, it's a woman entrepreneur from Senegal named Magat Wade. She's just so inspiring, so good at what she does. And if you want to hear about how bad bureaucracy can be, how bad some of these nations can be, why is so many African nations still poor? It's because you have a corrupt cabal running those places, to where some people think, oh, it's just warlords killing. Yeah, it's some parts of the world, but no, it's Magat Wade gave the example of, I want to hire you, Eddie, for $20 an hour, but before I can hire you, I want to give you the job. You want the job,
right?
But before, we got to go to the capital.
Right.
We can't fax it. We can't message.
Travel,
and I have to fill out a stack of paperwork. This again, just a 20 an hour job. And by the way, they might say, Eddie's too credentialed. He's not allowed to take a $20 an hour job.
Yep. Needs more.
And it ends up being this arbitrary use of power that is done in the name of community and compassion. Sound familiar to certain things?
Yeah.
So I tend to think that there are a lot of different forces. Don't underestimate, too, like the financial world, and like money is moving globally now. So there are a lot of interests that overlap borders, I'll put it that way.
That is something that kind of does scare me. The whole currency depegging from oil, China does rise up, and we are the second fiddle at some point. Talk about an instant collapse.
Yep.
To Joe's point, that's when it will be a civil war.
Well, that's what I think, it takes you back whenever we have major weather occurrences here locally or wherever I've been. For about a week, I remember after Hurricane Hugo, for about a month, we had no power, no water. It was very eye-opening to me, because that's one of the first times I'd ever seen the United States. It didn't get ugly, but you could see where it would get ugly quick.
Well, what's the old saying? You let people miss 3 square meals.
That's it right there.
You're in utter
Hunger will do that to people, for sure.
And the uncertainty.
Do it to anybody.
That's it.
It's back then it was, I think, maybe very early 90s, late 80s. Everything you had was a radio, and then you had to start worrying we only got X amount of battery power. I mean, it was crazy. We were using water from swimming pools to bathe in, and for like a month.
And everything Joe was saying, y'all are saying, what we're saying, I think is true, generally speaking. But there's also part of me that finds this whole civil war is imminent thing as a psyop, in the sense that the people in power kind of want, y'all do something here. Let me poke you with a stick. Do something.
Well, I mean, doesn't history show, like, if something does happen, that it's going to basically be a military overthrow, and that we're going to have a dictatorship after this? I mean, is it that what history shows?
Yeah, the cycle of elites, yeah. Whether you're talking Aristotle or Machiavelli, whoever. Polybius might even throw his opinion. But yeah, that is usually the case. I don't necessarily believe that. I don't think, and actually Machiavelli gets into this in his philosophy, it doesn't have to go from corrupt oligarchy to dictatorship.
Yeah, but
it doesn't necessarily have to do that.
But we're playing in a world now where those guys have the biggest toys and the biggest bombs, and whoever has the biggest bombs, as Dr. Strangelove said, controls everything, right?
But then you get to the point where I think the shrillness you're hearing come out of, say, major prestigious institutions, whether media or the university, all the stuff we're seeing, is a sign of their weakness. And they're losing control of the narrative. I don't think their ability to control folks in the United States today is mostly based on violent force. It isn't. And in fact, when you start using that, that's when you're really something has gone wrong. It's very costly to do that. You're going to turn the population against you.
They're holding us with our money. I mean, they've just got us right
is
now.
One. And then also the ability to control people in a sense of, we will destroy your life reputationally.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the new way of doing
things. That's the main.
Instead of arresting Joey, we won't arrest him. We'll just ruin him.
Right.
Joke's on them, though. If you have no self-respect,
yeah,
come at me now.
Yeah, what's that song? Naked to the World. All right, let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Erica.
Hey, Erica. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are y'all doing?
Doing wonderful.
Doing awesome. Of course, folks, this is Erica Thomas. She's the editor at large there at 1819 News. Just before we get into some of your stories, what's your general sense? How would you grade this session that's about to thank God, end here at Goat Hill.
I mean, I just feel like it's like every other session, you know, these big topics, these big issues, they just don't really get very far. And I'm talking about the ethics bill, which I know Matt Simpson and several other lawmakers worked very hard on for a very long time. All of that, you know, they have to go back to the drawing board on all that. There was just no movement. And then the gambling bill, I have no idea. But it's like I said last time, I feel like I have the little boy who cried wolf syndrome when it comes to the gambling bill in Alabama. Because you'll hear every time, like, it's actually going to, you know, go somewhere this time. It's got gaining ground, and whether you want it or not, you just keep hearing that it's gaining ground, and then it doesn't go anywhere. And so I feel like that's going to be the case again this year.
Yeah, but at least I want them to do less. Like, cut more things, just do less. There's always this hope and a dream. Here's how we're going to bring in more revenue, or this illegal or legal gray area activity will legitimize it and get the money coming out of coffers, so we'll make education a little more better or something like that in the state. And it's like, no, just do less. Sorry to rant in your ear.
Well, it's okay. I mean, the thing is, our state is still in top shape financially. You know, the ARPA money, the federal funds from COVID, we really are we have so much of that right now. And so our government has had the opportunity for the last several years to really cut the burden on taxpayers. And we did see that 1% of the grocery tax go away. But we were supposed to have another percentage taken out this time, and it's not going to happen. And that money is going to run out. You know, I don't know exactly when, but I know we're getting close to that money running out. So while we're in such great financial position, it really has been the time to relieve the taxpayers.
Yeah, I would like to get more than just a little grocery cut here or there, too. It'd be nice if they actually went for it. Like, on actually be conservative, like limited government folks, but I don't think that's necessarily in the cards. But speaking of the great state of Alabama, we've been in prime time, or we were reminded of our time in the sun in the national media by one Cat Williams. Have you watched this new special?
No.
Yes, I watched it. I'm sorry?
No, Byron has. Eddie, have you seen it?
I still haven't got to see it yet.
All right. And you haven't seen it, Eric?
I watched it over the weekend.
Okay. Like
the day after it came out, which I love to watch comedy specials anyways. It's kind of my thing to do. I'm one of those people that it takes a lot to make me actually laugh out loud, like a whole lot. I usually just kind of, on the inside. So if I'm going to laugh out loud, it's funny. And I don't feel like this Cat Williams special was necessarily just, roll on the floor laughing. But I do feel like there were times where I was like, did he really just say that? I mean, this guy, it's called Woke Folk. And, of course, Alabama was a huge part of this special. I think like 10 minutes of it, it's only an hour long, like 10 minutes of it, he was talking about Alabama headlines.
And so the first one was the whole Carly Russell story, right?
Yes, the baby on the side of the interstate story. Which she, her case was like national headlines last year. There was people that dressed up for her for Halloween, dressed up as her for Halloween. Or dressed up like the baby, wore a diaper and had a box of Cheez-It. So, she was already pop culture. She was already national headlines in a very negative way. Basically, in this special, Cat Williams said, hey, white people, I just want y'all to know all of us black folks were really embarrassed by this. And it was so funny the way he's so sincere. He acknowledges that there's different races and we have to live like that. We have to live knowing that. And his whole point is you have to be able to laugh. You have to be able to poke fun at each other. It's all in the name of comedy. and I thought it was pretty good.
Absolutely, and he also brought up the whole Montgomery Riverfront brawl here that occurred, and what he called it not about race but about equality. But the whole crowd loved him just recounting this stuff.
Oh yes, I mean they cracked up so hard, and of course, the Montgomery Riverboat brawl is the claim to fame for Montgomery now. That was another story that happened, and it just went viral nationwide. Everybody knows about that now. But he was really focusing on the man that jumped from the boat and swam to the pier. Kind of giving him props for what he did, and then using a chair to hit somebody. And I mean, these things, it's terrible that this happened. It's an embarrassment, either way for anybody. But like he said, you have to just laugh about stuff sometimes. And I think we've had enough time. We can kind of laugh about that now.
Well, and I think comedians are showing the way. I was just telling Jeff Poor this morning on his show that I think if wokeness was alive at all, that roast of Tom Brady kind of killed it dead. Like the types of jokes and like the
oh my God.
Yeah. And it's lovely that there were a lot of right wingers who were mostly political people saying, "We're back, boys." Like there's something about the comedians leading the way.
Comedians are the only people by and large that still tell the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next to talk radio hosts.
Well, I don't know about that.
They should be able to, but there's been a lot of instances where, these comedians have been canceled. I know Angela Johnson, they tried to cancel her. She was the one that did the King Burger skit. She did the nail salon skit, too, 10 years ago, probably. She was using an accent like somebody in a nail salon from Vietnam.
Yeah. Why you have no girlfriend? Why you have no girlfriend? Yeah.
That's the one,
Or
yes.
boyfriend,
Would you like to put gel on your nail, And then she said one nail, not a bunch of nails, one. But, I mean, she was hilarious, and the cancel culture tried to get her. So now she's independent on YouTube, releasing her own stuff, producing her own shows. She's hilarious. And then there's another one, a girl that did I Hate Being a Grown-Up. She was a comedian about 15 years ago. She did a video called I Hate Being a Grown-Up. I'm going to look it up so I can tell you all her name.
She was
but
probably not a grown-up.
she was canceled 100%. Like, she won't even show her face on anything. Her name was Jenna Marbles.
Oh, yeah. I remember that name. Wow.
And something that she had said years, like when she was in high school, surfaced on social media, and people canceled her. But I think now, at this point, America is getting tired of that cancel culture. Finally, people are starting to stand up and be like, this is nonsense. Like, you can't take away everything that's good because it makes you uncomfortable.
Well, and I saw that Tony Hinchcliffe, he had one joke I can't repeat on air about Kim Kardashian.
Only one?
Well, he had many I couldn't repeat. I mean, the one he threw at Bert Kreischer was amazing. But the one he threw at Kim Kardashian about essentially close your legs. There was a Yahoo News hit piece, and I think some other website trying to say, Tony Hinchcliffe, outrage, backlash as he tells misogynistic jokes. And I think the vast majority of people go away, losers.
Well, they tried to cancel him in 2021.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was an active hit job.
Yes.
Y'all want the full story, look at the podcast Trigonometry.
They sure did, man.
And you get the whole story about how they tried to take out Tony Hinchcliffe. But the beautiful thing is these people aren't going to be canceled anymore. Nope. They're leading the way. Maybe we can get somebody like a Jenna Marbles back. It's like, hey, the world's changed. It's okay. Come back.
Well, and it's funny to me, too, with the Tony Hinchcliffe stuff. Like, he says something, but nobody's looking at what Kim Kardashian is saying. What she said was just as, vile as anybody else.
Yeah.
So
well, it's a roast.
Why not focus?
What'd she say?
I don't know what the difference would be.
I thought that they had her on just so that they could actually air something in prime time to advertise it.
No, she was almost booed out of the building.
Well,
As soon as she got on stage.
But I don't believe she said anything obscene. It was just very generic.
Well, it reminded me, there's a Prince story where she tried to hop up on stage at one of his concerts and he kicked her
put her
off
off
stage and
stage.
kicked her
Yeah,
out. Like,
I
get out of
remember
here, weirdo.
Yep.
I mean, well, she told Kevin Hart that he was the smallest. I can't even repeat that.
Yeah, I was
Body
about
part.
to say, don't do it, Erica. Don't do it. Hey.
I can't do that. But I mean, why is that okay? It's
Right. Well, it's a roast.
Right.
That's the point.
Comedy roast. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Unless,
Exactly. So they're being so hypocritical about calling out the man who said something inappropriate to the woman. But I mean, you just called Kevin Hart a little tiny situation.
Yeah. Hey, moving on to another Alabama story. Just a follow-up on what we were talking about last week. Fort Morgan Fire Rescue reports now 13 rescues already in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Chief warns about rip currents again. So they're
Yes.
wow.
I mean, I don't know if y'all been to the beach already. A lot of people haven't, but the water is still cold. Like, I'm not even getting in there in the water yet. And so to hear that there's been 13 rescues since the beginning of the year, it's shocking really to hear that. And that's just in the Fort Morgan area, which is unincorporated Baldwin County. So we're talking a very short amount of time, 13 people rescued. Now, one of them was 3 at a time, a family.
Wow.
But that is more rescues than they had last year, all year. So it shows you that, first of all, people are unaware of those rip currents that I was talking about last week and about the dangers of getting caught in them. That also that more people are, the water is actually rougher than it has been for a while. If you go down there, you can see, I think it's double red flags is when the water is completely closed. And it's been like that a lot more than usual this year.
So folks just need to be hyper aware about this if they're going down to the coast this summer.
Yeah, they do. And it's very important if you have family going down to the beach for vacation. Don't forget to warn them about the dangers of rip currents. There's the beach flag system. Like I said, double red, waters are completely closed. But if it's single red, that means there's still high surf and rip currents. So you have to be very, very careful. You can get caught in those. If you do get caught in them, don't panic. Just swim parallel to the shore until you can get out of it. And also another important thing is the Alabama beaches text message you can get every single day. You can get a text message telling you what the conditions are. All you have to do is text AL Beaches to 888-777.
Well, I really appreciate you reminding folks because that's a lot already at the beginning of this year. So people do need to watch out. And, as somebody who likes comedy, I don't know how dirty you like your comedy, but have you seen Fake Dr. Phil yet? Any of his shows?
No.
It's
Sounds like something I would love.
Yeah, it's comedian Adam Ray. Just go to his YouTube channel, and he does these live shows with guests, like Anthony Jeselnik was on with him, but he does a lot of crowd work. And he's like, okay, Fake Dr. Phil here, and you'll like it, I think.
And he is Dr. Phil approved.
I do.
Yeah,
I like watching Dr. Phil.
Yeah, he is Dr. Phil approved. There's a video between the two. So yeah,
it's raunchy though.
That's
Very
amazing.
raunchy.
I will definitely check it out.
Well, I appreciate your time, Erica. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, think about, how can they do so?
Just go to 1819news.com. You can click subscribe or sign up for exclusive content with one of our subscriptions. But you can also get our daily email for free. Just one email a day showing you top headlines. And then if we have major breaking news in the state, we'll send you an alert about that too. But it's not an overwhelming number of emails, and it's just one thing you can look at in the mornings and you'll know everything that's going on, especially in Montgomery, because we have tons of reporters there just really paying attention to what's going on and informing you.
Well, I appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless. Erica Thomas, folks. And I was like, Erica, don't do it with the roast jokes out of context of the roast. They usually don't work very well.
Did you watch the Ben Affleck part?
I did. That
Might have a little bit too much cocaine before they come
I
on
thought
the stage.
Gronk was the one who had too much cocaine.
Gronk was awesome.
Or Julian Edelman.
Oh, yeah.
And he had the best delivery.
I thought Tony.
I thought Tony
was my
did
favorite.
it. I know they
Like,
gave it to
it's so
Nikki,
funny.
and Nikki was awesome.
Quick question. Cat Williams was in Montgomery.
He was when?
He was.
No, I'm asking.
No,
like-
I think he was about a year or so ago. I want to say he came through for a comedy deal.
Wait, why was he talking about Alabama?
Oh,
Was
just
it here?
because
He was
we
talking
make
about
national
news in his latest special, and Alabama had 2 stories that showed up.
Two
in
really
there.
good ones.
Come on, Cat. Last show was in Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, need to focus on the big prize.
Right. No, and I'd imagine he could sell arenas out
Oh, he
there,
could.
so he could do
Hey,
Birmingham.
I think he has
also.
before, but he just toned it down.
Yeah. So, no, the one Tony joke about the one lesbian comedian. Oh, hell no.
Did you notice Bert? When the camera's on Bert, and he admitted it yesterday, he's reading the teleprompter. He tells everyone's jokes. You see his mouth moving the whole time,
Yeah.
the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And I enjoyed that. I laughed pretty hard, but my grandfather watched it with me.
Ooh, how'd he-
87 years old.
How'd he take it?
He's like, well, I remember Dean Martin and Don Rickles. And I'm like, I warned him before we got into it. I'm like, it's going to be intense. Like, if you've seen one of these modern ones, no. And he watched the whole thing with me. And he said, yeah, it's a little too much for my taste a lot of the time, but he was laughing too.
Honestly, there are times even me, I'm like, wow. Oh, man, that's a roast.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
remind
but
yourself,
that's
oh, yeah, it's a roast.
Where these things
Ooh.
have gone now. The point is to be uncomfortable.
Ooh,
Go
yeah.
I mean,
hardcore.
that's my favorite comedy. I like the guys who push the envelope. I mean, Norm Macdonald is always going to have a place in
yeah.
my heart, but give me the brutal honesty of Dave Chappelle every day.
Dave's great too.
Yeah.
And always, Greg, I was leaving here, Greg Budell played an old Carlin bit. And there's something about George Carlin still holds up
Oh,
today.
That's what's
Definitely,
wrong
man.
with me. I think George Carlin raised me. I can remember staying up late at night and watching every one of his stand-ups, like from the time I was in 7th grade until whenever.
And I just think it's beautiful that comedians are showing this is what free speech should be.
Exactly.
And it's beyond just, free speech in the abstract or what the law says in the First Amendment. It's more like there's a reason we laugh at ourselves and laugh at each other. And there's like people still sometimes go, why are you and Eddie fighting?
I get that
And I'm
more
like-
often than, it's like, do you guys get along? What are you talking about?
Well, number one, he's incredibly annoying.
Have you met Joey? He's single.
Right.
Lots of
Frustration?
There we go.
Pent
Thank
up.
I was going to say
frustration.
flaws, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of pent up flaws, too. And some that have been let loose. How about this? We got to hit a break, but first, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and you've used them a few times.
Actually, I'll be
right?
using them again. I've got a client that needs a quote for a roof, so I'll be calling them this afternoon.
Okay, and so they'll work on both metal roofs and asphalt roofs.
Yep. And one of the nicest things is every time I've used them, their quotes have been incredibly accurate. But I can recommend them to clients like this, knowing that it's a free estimate, Joey. They will come out there and not charge my client a dime. They just want them to get a new roof, and they want to get it through them, and they want it to be done right. So that's why they're going to use them.
Well, it's impressive, folks, how good they do it. Like how on time the estimates are accurate. And the beautiful
Every
thing,
time.
inspections and estimates there at River Region Contractor, always free. Yes.
Been free, man.
Always free.
That's great.
And they're a team of insurance specialists that walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy process. Not something people usually associate with the insurance
Not
claim.
at all.
That's how good they are there at River Region Contracting. So give Todd Clark and his team a call today, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from that radio show sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Our early summer preview continues for now, but big changes are ahead. Today's high temperature, well, if we make it to 93, that would tie the record. The rain chances are not quite zero, but we'll say 20% chance or less of an isolated random storm somewhere in the area. Breezy this evening, overnight low 73. Thursday's high 89, with showers and thunderstorms likely. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, as a strong cold front approaches the area. That risk of rain continues till Friday morning, then cooler Friday's high 82. We'll be in the 50s Friday and Saturday night. And Saturday's high only 77. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Do you have big plans this summer? Dive into summer with an ASE Credit Union vacation loan. Whether you've got a trip coming up, projects at home, or just need a little extra cash, we've got you covered. So don't put your plans on hold. Visit yourasecu.com or stop by and see us today.
Craving authentic Italian? Every Friday and Saturday evening, Epicure and Jack's Tavern transforms into an Italian paradise. From homemade pasta to classic Italian specialties, let them transport you to Italy. Their executive chef, Glenn Tarantino, crafts every dish to perfection.
Discover a world of exquisite wines at Epicure and Jack's Tavern. From La Crema to Camus, enjoy their full line of wines at below retail prices, perfect for dine-in or carry-out. Savor the flavors of top-tier wines without breaking the bank. Experience the wine wonderland at Epicure and Jack's Tavern.
What I like, and I do what I want.
Do what you want. Be who you want. And elevate your game to fabulous at Wind Creek Atmore. Stay in our luxurious suites and rooms. Relax in the tranquil spa. Play any of our 1,700 exciting games on our spacious gaming floor. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Atmore. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call. 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000. When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Just a few minutes here. Eddie bobbing his head.
Got a catchy tune here, buddy.
It was a good day. It was a funky day.
Yeah.
I guess. Some people are saying this is like burlesque stripper music.
I don't know. I think we need to do more investigation on that. Where would we go to hear that?
I can tell you it's not.
Yeah,
It's
I've
not.
never heard it.
Yeah.
It's not clubby enough.
No, I'd about to say hip hop is, I think, taking over a lot of that.
But if somebody wants to prove me wrong, then, prove me wrong.
Saturday night.
All right.
Let's go to Fred. Hey, Fred.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Not much. How you doing, Fred?
Y'all talking about roast, man. One of the funniest lines I've ever heard. I think it was Cat Williams. It was Flavor Flav's roast.
Mm-hmm.
And he was over there laughing, and Cat said, "I don't know what you laughing at, blah, blah." He said, you're what Magic Johnson's supposed to look like.
Dang.
Oh, my God.
I about lost it, dude.
Yeah.
Those things are so funny, man.
They are.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good show. Tom did an okay job.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Kim K.
Yeah, she got a lot of heat in that building. A lot.
That's got to be wherever she goes, though, because whenever I see her on stage, they've always got to cool the crowd off a little bit first before she can talk. And she's very well hated. But I think she embraces it.
Yeah, she's got to love it.
Yeah.
Well, and she had one good joke where, she said something to the effect of, enough people in my family have defended ex-football players or something to that effect. I think referring to Aaron Hernandez. Being reminded that guy's a murderer.
Tom's joke about who's watching your kids was pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Was it one of her family members a part of the Dream Team?
Yes, they were.
Talking
her dad.
about Norm earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right, fellas, I'm about to walk in the store.
All right, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, bud.
And who's this?
Give us an update on the legislature, I believe.
We have a special report here. Hello, you're on there. Who's this?
This is Poe Ivan Ivy. I'm the cousin of High Stepper, living over here in the mansion. Been on the Birmingham radio since 2017, giving updates. The subject matter seems to be all right for me to call right now. I'm also the acting coach for Katie Britt, been ever since August when she first went to Mexico, and then when she went to Israel, and then I stood in the kitchen holding the cue cards for the speech I wrote her when she was on television, And right now, the governor's got me up here. I'm helping Trump out as assistant press secretary, serving mint juleps and spam sandwiches outside the courthouse and making faces and saying things that needs me to Alvin Bragg. I just thought I'd introduce myself to you.
Well, it's great to. So you're a cousin of the governor here.
Cousin of the governor, live in the mansion from Wilcox County. I'm a little bit younger, you know, and help her out whatever she might need and get on here because, you know, she doesn't get on the radio and do interviews, so I come on here for her. Sometimes she doesn't know I'm doing it, but I still help her out that way. Enjoy your show. I've listened to it several times there, Joy.
Thank you. You said my name in the true Southern way. It sounds like
that.
Joy.
Joy. I love that.
And you can find me on PO.Ivy, all capitals. I answer questions on that core, you know, having to do with the legislature and all kinds of stuff. You know, we got a tunnel over here that goes to the legislature. We got some little mixings up from Wilcox County that we're making go in the back room when we need to pass gambling and things. You know, we may be over there late tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But thought I'd give you a little introduction, and if I can come on your show anymore, I'd surely appreciate to give you a few little updates maybe once a month or something.
Well, I appreciate it.
Love to hear from you.
Thank you.
How far do those tunnels go? Because there's an ABC store right down from the Capitol.
Yeah.
That's the main tunnel.
That is a good
Yeah,
question.
that's the main tunnel. All other tunnels
this
go off
party
of that
that's
one.
going on tonight. I mean, we're invited.
The real party's down in the tunnel.
What do they do in the tunnel?
I can't tell you. I won't be back invited.
What? Come on, let it out. It's not like you're getting invited back. Anyway,
Can't risk that
what
for
do
each
they
other.
like sacrifice a goat
Oh
or something?
no, nothing like that. Just some heavy partying. Mm-hmm.
All right, just saying.
Heavy partying.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The Washington, D.C. mayor and police chief say they decided to clear a pro-Palestinian encampment at George Washington University based on shifting information about increased threats of public safety. Police cleared the temp encampment after dozens of protesters had left the site and marched to the university president's home. An attorney for Donald Trump says the former president looks forward to presenting arguments to a Georgia appeals court that will review a ruling letting Fani Willis keep prosecuting the election interference case against him. Mr. Trump and other defendants had tried to get the Fulton County DA removed from the case, saying a romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade created a conflict of interest. The Dow had 70 points, the NASDAQ losing 67 points. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. We've helped over 30,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. At Wesley Financial Group, we're dedicated to helping timeshare owners get out of their financial nightmare. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-256-5533. That's 800-256-5533. 800-256-5533.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. Our early summer preview continues for now, but big changes are ahead. Today's high temperature, well, if we make it to 93, that would tie the record. The rain chances are not quite zero, but we'll say 20% chance or less of an isolated random storm somewhere in the area. Breezy this evening, overnight low 73. Thursday's high 89, with showers and thunderstorms likely. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, as the strong cold front approaches the area. That risk of rain continues till Friday morning, then cooler Friday's high 82. We'll be in the 50s Friday and Saturday night. And Saturday's high only 77. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Alabama lawmakers on Tuesday completed one of their main constitutional duties for the legislative session. The Senate gave final approval to the general fund budget for the fiscal year that starts October 1st, sending the budget to Governor Kay Ivey. The general fund totals $3.4 billion, an increase of about $360 million over the current fiscal year. The Boy Scouts of America is changing its name for the first time in its 114-year history and will soon become Scouting America. The change comes as the organization emerges from bankruptcy following a flood of sexual abuse claims. Scouting America will focus on inclusion, allowing gay youth and girls to join. An Auburn high school senior who was just days away from graduation has died after being shot in Union Springs. 18-year-old Delvin Tarver was shot just after midnight Saturday morning. Suspect and motive remain unknown. Central Alabama Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward to help identify and arrest the shooter. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
The City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs presents the Riverbend Brew Fest Friday, May 17th in downtown Montgomery, beginning at 6 p.m. at the Union Station Train Shed. Brew Fest will feature a large selection of craft and specialty beers from local, regional, and national breweries. Free admission with tickets on site. Ticket price includes a commemorative tasting glass and will be benefiting the Riley Foundation. There'll be food vendors and a special performance by voice finalist Kurt J. For ticket information, visit mgmcityevents.com. Sponsored by Blue Water Broadcasting and the City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs.
It's Johnny from Sinclair's from Bond Road. We've been in business almost 30 years.
Sinclair's East. Juanette Taylor.
I think if you hadn't tried us, you should give us a try. We've got a great menu, offered anything from chicken fingers, wings, salads, fajitas. At lunchtime, we do great country lunch with different vegetables and different meats every day.
Sinclair's, where you get great sandwiches and our daily meat at 3 special at lunch, to great pasta, chicken, steaks, and seafood for dinner.
Our most popular items are, we got a soup called she crab soup, which is extremely popular. We've got a bunch of pasta dishes, which people love. Mediterranean chicken is my favorite.
Sinclair's.
We do live music, light stuff on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then on Fridays and Saturdays, maybe 3-piece bands or 4-piece bands.
Come see why Sinclair's has seen lesser restaurants come and go over the years. Johnny Sullivan Sinclair's, at the corner of Vaughn and Taylor. Find them on Facebook at Sinclair's East. Google search Sinclair's Restaurant. Sinclair's.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
Fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
Shut up, silly woman.
Joey Clark.
Welcome to the second hour of News and Views in the afternoon on a Wednesday. Well, we're actually calling the show Joey Clark Live online. You can always watch on YouTube. Joey Clark Live is the name of the channel. Or you can watch on the X platform. We got a bunch of folks tuning in there. At the Joey Clark. We're on the Book of Faces, if you so please. But I've learned, it's where I had my biggest following, I thought.
Yeah.
But the Book of Faces sucks.
Joey.
Oh, man, the way they suppress stuff.
They put the thumb on, don't
They're
they, buddy?
awful. No, I remember, I have good weeks, bad weeks when I write something, put something out.
Yeah.
But I remember the first few times we published stuff and put it up on Facebook from 1819 News that I wrote, I'm getting hundreds of reactions.
Yes.
They would do these little quote cards, like a quote from a piece I wrote. Myself, Phil Williams, a few other folks, we were getting thousands of people sharing that across Facebook. I was kind of taken aback. I'm like, okay, this is going to work. It's gone now. Like, if we didn't change content, we didn't change style, they clearly throttled it.
Yeah.
And that happens, I think, on most sites, most social media, but Facebook, I think, is the worst. Absolute worst for this.
I mean, during campaign season, that's one of the things that we actively caution against, is making sure that people understand they can stop this at any point.
Right.
And to your point, we've had numerous people say, I know that I posted this, you're supposed to get my stuff. No one's seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like, even friends you see,
that's just it. And we laugh about it, but it is the truth. A lot of times with Greg and Joey, they'll post things. I don't see, it should come right up. They're one of my closest friends or somebody I follow all the time. I got to go search it out. And a lot of times Joey will tell me, hey, I put my article out today. I'm like, what? I literally have to go search it out.
Well, and then I guess I just remembered I was on national news with that whole Riverfront Brawl thing.
Yeah.
Like, my chubby face wearing this hat, I admit I was a little hungover that morning. Captain Jim just called in and randomly and gave his side of the story. And I just learned to shut the F up and was like, let this guy talk. I know this is national news.
Guy.
Yeah. And he talked 13 minutes. I'm like, well, that's crazy. I see it going pretty viral on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. That's interesting. And then I see somebody text me, go, you're just on Brett Baer special report, Fox News. And I watch it, I go, what the heck is this? And then, of course, in my head, I'm like, the ground loop hum. The hum is still there. It's surreal seeing yourselves on national news. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Could have got you in on a Cat Williams show. That'd have been good.
Oh, that pasty cracker or whatever.
Chubster, yeah.
Yeah. If it ever happens, I'm embarrassing everyone. I'm starting off with, I seen it, and going from there. Don't care what it is.
272-9228. Let's see if this is on line one. Why not? You're on there. Who's this?
Red Top.
Hey, Red Top.
Tell me, Joey, has the rules changed on any social media news and fake news and what they take down and what they can't take down? Really, there was so much hullabaloo about it after the last election.
It's loosened up a little bit to where some of the stuff that would get you reported and taken down, say on YouTube, they're not doing that now. You can talk about the vaccines have caused injuries. You can talk about all sorts of stuff, but you can question the science now again, for instance.
Well, and of course, Elon Musk had everything to do with that buying Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yes. I think Elon created, they have to go to his standards he's created to a large degree, yes.
That's amazing. He's changed the nature of the world in so many ways.
It's remarkable.
And still, by far, Tesla's the best electric car. It's going to be, and probably the only one to survive because it's the only one that deserves to survive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Elon Musk had any intention of turning the world into electric cars everywhere. He just wanted to make his own. And also, how about Boeing almost getting the rocket off the other day?
Oh, yeah, almost.
Almost. And it was ULS. Is it ULS, United Launch System? Yeah, out of Huntsville that builds the Atlas rocket.
Mm-hmm.
It was a throw at the Atlas rocket, but I hope Boeing builds spacecraft better than they're building airplanes right now. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah, and there are more whistleblowers. 2 have died.
Yeah.
2 under very strange. Like
the
second one was killed by a fast-moving infection.
Putin style, baby.
Like, what in the world? And then all this cover up that just came out, I think yesterday, all this news about how they were covering up documentation and safety problems. I'm like, well, that's how you end up with the problems you got.
Yeah.
Wow. And briefly, Joey, I've heard like 2 or 3 clips of as much as I can stand, the Brittany Griner interview with.
I'm not going to play it. I haven't watched it.
It's bizarre, and Robin Roberts is already but this is not a woman. This is not a woman. It's a deep man's voice. I really don't know what the nature of this person is, but it is creepy. Thank goodness for Caitlin Clark, which seems to be a normal woman, and she's already changed the whole nature of the WNBA. Did you hear they're going to be chartering jet flights now?
Oh, nice.
For all the teams.
All right. Good for them.
Which they have been flying coach.
Still not going to watch.
And they sold out their first game with Caitlin Clark, which I have to say, she's probably part of a new generation of women basketball players that's going to be more representative of the future than the freaks of the past.
Well, if she can keep it up, I think it was her style of play. Like, she would just shoot the J. She would just shoot the 3 from afar, and that's always fun to watch. But I'm sorry, like, I'm a 35-year-old guy. I'm not interested in women's professional sports. There's occasionally collegiate sports. It's like, okay, it's college. It's interesting.
Softball? I love watching.
Yeah,
it's
like,
so intense.
I have no interest in watching the WNBA. None.
Oh, yeah, and me either, but it's great for women. I am really looking forward to the Olympics. It's starting.
The Olympics, that should be good this summer. Yeah,
it's going to be awesome, and Paris is such an awesome city. I know you haven't visited there, but you owe it to yourself to go back to your roots in Europe. Where are your roots, Joey?
Up
on the continent.
Up?
Isn't you from down that way?
Andalusia.
Yeah.
Well, that was
10 miles
little
over.
Barry Rogers. He came over in like 1812 or something from South Carolina. And no, I'm a true mutt. Apparently, I have clearly Polish, might be Russian, but also there's roots back to New Amsterdam. So there's Dutch, there's, of course, Scots-Irish. I haven't done an ancestry thing, but I think I'm a pretty
The CIA
mix.
would like you to hurry up and get that done, by the way.
I wouldn't do it, Joey. No. Just go ahead and send a blood sample to the Communist Chinese Party. That just saves yourself some damn time. Roll Tide, go Trump.
But nowadays, it's whatever you identify as, Joey. What do you feel like? That's what you are. You don't have to have the DNA test no more. It's whatever you feel like.
It's whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you feel like? That's you today.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I think some of the history is fascinating, but like, what's your ethnicity in America? I'm like, I don't care.
No, I think I like going back a little while, a few generations, mainly just to see some of the traits that I might have still have that my grandfathers or grandparents had. But other than that,
I mean, does it really matter if you're a good looking guy? I mean,
no, I want to know what happened. What happened along the line? My sisters are really good looking. All of them are beautiful. What happened with me? There's some genealogy skip going on, and I'd like to find out where that happened. Yeah. By the way, I would not make a good looking woman. So quit
Well,
looking at
maybe
me
you
like
should
that.
start wearing lederhosen. German beast.
I got the legs for it.
Yeah, my work. Seriously.
These
One of
hips
these
don't
days.
lie, Joey.
Anyway, moving on. Okay. So there have been a lot of protest videos that have come out.
Yes.
A lot of protest videos. And, well, some are awful. And, like, it's also, I don't care if it's even a protest I agree with. I'm like, what are you doing, you idiot?
They're expressing their freedom.
Idiots. That's how I feel looking at some of these.
they're
folks.
not calling that a protest.
No, but this is not just a protest. This isn't like get violent in the police's faces and take over a building. This is a hunger strike.
It's like they're selling cookies.
It's a Princeton hunger strike.
Oh, that explains it.
And so apparently this is not satire. Let me share this on the stream.
Okay.
Let's listen in together, guys.
Us as strikers, we will continue to starve until they meet our demands.
Mm-hmm. Until they meet our demands.
In addition, I would like to note that the administration is also lying to the media.
Mm.
To the
Wait, what? Did they yell shame?
They did.
They just sounded like sheep to me.
I'm counting 4 people for the listening audience.
I swear to God, it reminds me of when my sister was little and she would hold her breath until she got her way. Well, we'd all watch her pass out. Nobody...
I got to back it up. Listen.
That the administration is also lying to the media. To the
They need to get on the same
They have
page.
announced that they have been consistently sending their own doctors to come to our area and monitor us hunger strikers and monitor our health. This is a lie. They are not monitoring our health. They are not keeping track of our vitals. They are not at all taking care of us in any regard.
Well, you needed to lose a few pounds, Betsy.
When she said doctors, she meant PhD.
Oh, yeah.
Popping popcorn and just watching the show.
Right.
Well, where's our good frats that have not cranked up a barbecue like 10 feet away?
Oh, that'd be good.
Right.
Oh, like some Korean short ribs?
Oh, dude,
like with a tangy, like sweet sauce?
Lay it down.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Let's test their strength.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it all caved.
The resolve.
Especially the old chubster there.
They have only sent a spokesperson from UHS twice to give us informational pamphlets, but they are not at all taking care of us in any regard, and I want to make that very clear, that they are not caring for us, that they do not care for us, and they are lying.
I don't care for them either, Joey.
I want to know how long they've actually been there at this point.
They probably got to miss their mid-afternoon snack.
So they've been
That's why
there
they're
for
getting
like
kind of
3
grumpy.
hours and they're upset that they only got checked on twice.
It's like, I refuse to eat. And it's like, okay. Why don't you care about me?
Whose job is it to check on them? What morons think? No one. I've been
Not
here.
their
No one's come by
parents.
here.
They send them to school. So
Yeah,
the school
right.
can take care of them. And this is what you get. Paint slips.
Woof.
Well, and it's just this trend, almost this social disease of me being weak makes me moral. I don't think it does.
But not only that, they're more upset nobody's paying attention to them.
Yeah.
I've been here 3 hours and CNN's not here yet. And neither's my lunch.
Well, and it's even worse. It's not even folks who are actually weak and marginalized. It's kids that get to go to Princeton.
Yeah, right.
I stand up for the weak and marginalized. I'm going to starve myself until you make a statement about the bombs dropping. We're not actually going to stop the bombs dropping. More people will die, but we need a statement.
This is one of the things that really upsets me about, and I'm just going to generalize here.
Yeah.
Liberals in general. They like to talk about the big problem and how we need to fix the big picture.
Fix it!
But whenever it comes time to actually go and stand in line at a soup kitchen and taking some responsibility and helping someone, they don't do it. Everything's abstract. Everything is, we all need to do this. Why don't you take a little initiative and actually go and prove
It's your damn self.
Yeah, exactly.
Note that the administration is also lying to the media.
I just wanted that part for you, Byron. Shame. Shame.
That's from a movie, right?
Inmate Stills.
Or no, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
because that lady's
Shame.
walking. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I remember that
well,
scene.
but that woman gets it in the end.
Oh, what?
Don't mess with Queen Cersei? Yeah, don't
I
mess
just
with
remember
her.
her walking.
Psychopath. Like,
Yeah, I can see that.
do not shame a psychopath.
I can see that.
They will have something special for you in the end. Oh, the world of Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon's coming out soon in June. I saw that while watching the NBA playoffs last night. Yeah.
Interested? You excited?
Actually, I liked the first season. It was pretty well done. Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Bo Holt.
Hey, Bo.
Hey, Bo.
Doyle Rule.
Oh, Doyle Rule.
Yeah, that little bit you were just playing, I heard that earlier. I was looking at some of the comments and stuff that everybody had said. And there was one guy who was like, that's funny. When I was in Afghanistan and didn't sleep for 2.5 days fighting for our country, the government didn't come, check my vital signs either.
Good point.
And I know this might sound harsh, but I'm sorry, these people are going to be dragged on society the rest of their useless lives. They're going to cost money. They're going to be destructive. And I can't be the only person who's just sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting for them to cross the line so the police can just use lethal force on these detritivores and just get rid of them.
Wow, you took it a little far there, Bo.
Well, they've been going, and they've been here my entire life. I'm 43 years old, and they just keep rearing their ugly heads and don't do any good.
Well, these idiots just got started.
Right. Yeah.
That's the downside is there's a whole new generation right there.
Yeah, see, that's it. They're going to breed that next generation. So I hope they starve to death, before they can, contaminate the gene pool even further.
Well, if they keep sitting there waiting on people to come check on them, they will. So
no, a frat definitely needs to set up in this Princeton yard with like a great grill out, but then set up a big projector screen and watch Les Mis right next to him. You're like, see, this is what y'all are just, y'all are going through the same things, right? Just like the French Revolution.
And I guess this is old news, but the ones who were complaining about the bananas last week was just hysterical.
Oh, yeah. There's so many of these little moments where it's like entitled little child with daddy's credit card.
Yes.
It infuriates me that this is even a thing and that we've let it go that far. I mean, in my mind, we are already at war, and they are domestic terrorists. They're only getting worse. And I don't see any kind of purpose they can ever serve for a civilized, United States.
Now, Bo, I can feel your frustration, and in all seriousness, man, I love you. You're taking it a little far, so I have a recommendation for you. Have you watched Fake Dr. Phil yet?
Have I watched? No.
Bo, you will like Fake Dr. Phil.
Fake Dr. Phil.
No, I guarantee
Fake
this.
Dr. Phil?
Adam Ray is the actual comedian's name. Just look up Adam Ray on YouTube, Dr. Phil, and enjoy. It'll help get rid of some of that frustration.
You really will enjoy it. It's right up your alley.
All right. I will do that. Guys, y'all have a great day. It's always good talking to you.
You too, Bo.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sam calling. Calling from Pike County.
Hey, Sam.
What up, Sammy?
Hey, gentlemen, I'm enjoying the show for us. I just want to say, I've lost a lot of respect. Okay, I'm not calling in for the termination, the killing, or the whatnot of the protesters, but I am going to say, New York City has let me down. It's they have a large Jewish community, and you didn't see them I shouldn't say they let me down, but you didn't see any protesters taken hostage. You didn't see anybody in the local our boys roll in there and shut all that down. Okay, I need to calm down. Yeah, I'm
Have you tried Fake Dr. Phil?
Anyway, I am glad. I was glad to have boys here in the South, give some pushback. But no, okay, answer your question. Dr. Phil, I'm going to have to, Joe, I get a lot of good tips off you in the show. Yes, I do. And part of the fun of listening regularly. And I'll check out Fake Dr. Phil. How about that?
Fake Dr. Phil is actually recommended by the real Dr.
Yeah,
Phil.
that's what's so cool about it.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Man, I don't know how I missed
He endorsed it.
If y'all, okay, I've missed this little bit of trivia. Yeah, man, I'm all about the fad. I'll check it out.
It's raunchy, though.
Yes. Sorry for cussing.
Is that Chad in studio?
Chad?
No, we have Eddie, and we have Byron.
Byron. I'm sorry.
Chad.
What's up, Sam?
Yeah, man. Chuck
Well,
up on
he
the
is
mic
a
little
Chad,
bit, buddy.
but like,
No, I'm not a Chad. No.
I was just saying, Byron, your voice is dipping in and out.
My bad, man.
While I'm listening. No, it's nothing big. It's just that microphone. I know it can't be natural. It can't be natural to have that dang mic up in your face. And I mean, Joey does it because he's trained. But that. Where am I going? I'm going nowhere. Let me off here.
Well, I'm always happy to give you great tips and recommendations, too. Appreciate it, Sam.
See you, Sammy.
272-9228.
There were two things I'd just let completely go right then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And 'tis the season.
Yes,
the pests are coming alive.
Yes.
I had to go to war with a couple wasps as I was cutting the yard. Yeah. I had to cut it again.
We have people that do that.
Yeah, we're going to have to reach out. I tried somebody who was giving them a chance. And
I haven't said.
Whatever. So I had to cut it. Anyways, I'm going to get the mower. 2 wasps come at. Ooh.
Mm-mm.
And luckily I had the spray. I was kind of ready.
All right, Joey.
No, I've
a little preparation there. Good
it's bad blood. It's generational.
I don't mess with them, man. They win.
Right. So, and especially, like, it's one thing if you see a couple. If you see, like, the whole back corner of, say, your shed you haven't been in all year, it's now time to get the mower out or whatever, call a professional. Like
definitely.
The folks there at Pest Pro
Well,
Service.
right now, you'll see them, they're scouting around, they're making small nests, so you get a hold of them now before you end up with that huge nest going on.
Right, because, I mean, those things, they hurt, number one, but they are dangerous.
Yes.
And then in terms of protecting not just yourself, but your home, well, how about termite treatment or just a termite inspection?
That's a really good idea.
Because it's going to happen at some point here in Alabama if you don't get treatment done. And, you know, homeowners insurance doesn't cover termite treatment or damage. The treatment is much less expensive than covering the cost of termite damage. And, of course, also it's mosquito season.
Oof.
It's still holding up for you at the lake house?
Yep. They're coming back up to spray. It's a guest coming. But honestly, I've seen a couple. It's been right at 4 weeks now, so I have seen a couple, but not like what we had before. I mean, before you couldn't sit outside.
Okay, that's awesome.
It is literally, this is their week due. So what they told me would last, it has lasted very well.
And so, like, and what Eddie's describing is like right on the lake in the woods.
Yeah.
So the fact that it works for you
is amazing, because I'll be honest, I didn't have much faith because of my location.
This is how good they are at Pest Pro Services. So check them out today. You can always call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or just search for ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell them that those fellas on the radio sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Honey, wake up.
What?
I think something's burning.
I don't smell anything.
I'm gonna go check.
Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Is your home safe? You can't be sure unless you call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of CurrentSafe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Crosby Electric will send a specially trained electrician to your home. Using high-tech equipment, they'll check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to make sure your home is safe.
Well, it appears that we found the culprit. Faulty wiring.
I should have had it checked.
Just be thankful everyone's okay.
For an in-home no-obligation assessment, visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe, know it's safe.
Now you're safe.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Stop playing with it.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm Joey. Eddie's the one in orange. Byron's the one with the ball cap on. And wait, the Orioles jersey. I like that, man.
Ripken.
Oh, a Ripken? Man. That man. What, Iron Man of baseball?
Showed up every day and did his job, man.
Yep.
That says something. Like, and it's one thing, I've been working here 5 years. I've been here every day. No, when you do a career and you're known for not missing work, that's remarkable.
It was either, I think it was 2-1-76 or 2-1-67. I think 2-1-76.
Wow. Yeah. And, I'm kind of lost the plot when it comes to sports. Like, I mean, I still understand baseball and basketball and football.
Whoever with the most points, they're the winner.
Well, I know that one. Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Right.
26-32.
And then golf, it's the lowest score, right?
I don't know, dude. I never made it past like the third hole. I'm usually drunk guy on the cart. It just never works out well for me.
Right.
That's how I score golf.
Yeah. Right.
Every beer can's will stroke off your...
Right.
Right. There you go. But, I'm still stuck in like the 90s, early 2000s when it comes to all the sports people I really remember.
That's when Atlanta was on top, baby.
Oh,
I mean, those were good days, Joey.
I've said this before, but I remember I was only 7, I believe, maybe 6.
Yeah.
Watching the Braves in 95. So I went with my dad and grandfather to the NLCS game where they won.
Oh, nice.
And I remember Klesko out there with all the sunflower seeds around him.
Yeah.
But then I remember watching, that when they won over then the Cleveland Indians, where it was David Justice hit a single home run, and then Tommy Glavine, outside corner, inside, outside corner, outside. Is he going to? No, outside corner again. And pitched a damn near perfect game. Not an actual one, but damn near. And, I miss those days. Maddox was a lot of fun to watch. Schmaltzy.
But here's the thing, and I know I'm getting older. I don't have time to sit and watch baseball no more.
I know.
And I don't know how I had time then, but I would.
I've been watching the NBA playoffs some with my grandfather, and I don't mind professional sports by men at the playoff level are awesome to watch because it's usually very competitive.
Playoff hockey, baby.
Yeah.
This is the best hockey ever.
I'm going to get you into female arm wrestling.
Female arm wrestling.
That's legit.
You might not take much convincing. 272-9228.
But you don't watch the WNBA?
No.
I mean, why not, Joey? They're
tall.
No, I watch women's wrestling occasionally.
Is that right?
No, not really. When the women's matches come on, I'm like, well, they're talented.
Now, back in the 70s, those were good matches. You probably, I know you weren't
Well,
around.
they have good matches now. Like Charlotte Flair's a real deal, though she's injured now. But it's
not the same.
Yeah. Oh, you like the ones that were a little hairy with the leotards?
Yeah.
Like blues from old school.
Oh, yeah.
It's my kind of wrestling.
I hadn't thought of that.
Exactly.
In a while. But, Eddie, you just mentioned there were breaking things in all these Trump cases.
Yeah.
Where the Georgia court has now agreed to hear an appeal on Fani Willis's being removed.
Disqualification.
From the Trump case. And here from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the court's decision means a significant delay for Trump trial and signals to Fani Willis her leadership role isn't guaranteed. It's unclear how long the appeals court will take to decide the issue, but they are not known for moving swiftly. So that comes on the heels of Judge Eileen Cannon in the documents case, essentially handing Trump a huge win, pushing off that case indefinitely. And so the chances are dwindling, if not almost zero now, for a trial before the November election.
Sounds like the wheels are falling off that bus, Joe.
Right. But join us in our, I feel perplexed, bumfuzzled even, when I look at these cases. Like, what are some of these even about? Like, he had documents?
We've already learned, like the first one, the big one, there was no injured parties. The supposedly injured party said, we'd love to do business with him again.
Well, and you're also like, wait, you're telling me that Donald Trump got a porn star to spank him with a magazine that had his face on the cover?
He had to pay extra for that.
And you're making me not want to like him? That's the goal here?
She let him off the hook. I mean, completely.
But joining us,
what money will do.
I swear, because I don't know if it's something that happened at Walter Reed or maybe Senator Katie Britt put a hex on this guy, but John Fetterman is a different man.
I'm telling you, he's been healed.
Let's listen into John Fetterman. He's just as perplexed, bumfuzzled about all these cases. I think a lot of folks on the right.
So in Pennsylvania, your state, if you look at our latest battleground polls on the economy, former President Trump
And he's still wearing those damn hoodies. Sitting on the set of Fox News special report.
He's going to wear them until someone tells him to stop.
I'm wearing a hoodie today. I'm not knocking it. It's
once
just
you
funny.
get elected, the shit's over. Wear a suit and tie.
Yeah.
But he will, but not until someone makes him. Right now, it's casual day, and he's just rolling with it.
really up big on President Biden when it comes to the economy alone. Who do you trust on the economy? Why is that? How do you see that? And how do you see the election playing out in November?
Yeah, well, I don't really follow the app to polls, but you know, I've been having that kind of a conversation now since 2016. You know, I identified that there's a risk here that Trump can actually win, and most people didn't thought that it was going to be a joke. And I'm like, no, I spent too much time in across the state, and I realized that something is happening. And then I had that conversation in 2020 that you know, some of those polls had Biden up at 5 points, and I'm like, you can't, you know, have 25,000 people show up at an event, and that's not a 5-point race. And now 24, it's going to be very competitive. It's going to be close. Always has been, always will be. And I do believe Joe Biden is going to win. But anyone that takes Trump seriously do that at their own peril. He has a connection in Pennsylvania, and we have to make sure that we do whatever we can. But
So you see this trial up in New York today. He's out saying it's all falling apart. You know, if you look at polls, and I know you don't look at polls, there are a lot of people who look at that trial and say it may not be fair to him. How do you see it, and how do you see the former president positioned for the election?
Well, I mean, like I'm a sitting senator, and I'm truthfully not even exactly sure what his trials are about, how many of them or whatever. I mean, I think it's, you know, most voters in Pennsylvania agrees that it's a very stark choice as well. And so if I'm not following it that closely, I don't think a lot of the voters there, and they're going to, you know, in 6 months from now, they're going to have the chance to vote. And I do believe Joe Biden is going to prevail in Pennsylvania. And I do believe that Pennsylvania does pick the president, but it's going to be very close. And it's going to be incredibly competitive. And I'm not really sure that most of people's perceptions of Trump and all the things that are going on in the trial are already baked into that stock price.
Yep.
Actually, Fetterman, as much as he's still struggling, I think, from after effects of that massive stroke, he's making very down-to-earth, common man points here.
I didn't really get any points.
Right. This is what I mean.
I mean, I'm feeling a lot better about my analysis right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. John
Fetterman helped you out with that?
A little bit.
272-9228.
How much is he really getting out with the people in the state? I mean, I'm just curious. How is he really meeting with people? Because I got a feeling he's not, because most of them are going to ask him uncomfortable questions if he doesn't want to answer. So when he said he's out and about with the people, I kind of got a feeling that's not.
That was in 2016, he said.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like Fetterman, I love that he is making these points badly. You say barely made a point. I've seen him do this in committee hearings where it was this complex conversation about the Fed and financing our debt and all this stuff, monetizing the debt. Is like, why are you printing money to bail out bank and not give to people? And it's simple, but I love that simplicity. It kind of cuts like a knife through butter with some of these folks.
We need to get him on the road.
Get him on the road.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
Well, we'll get a like Winnebago or something and see the country.
Short bus.
Big bus.
Big bus.
Big tour bus. Okay. Like Taylor Swift's dad probably owns one of them.
Well, we can put him on the short bus.
I think he's a short bus rider.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this? Hello? Anybody there? Anybody at all? No. Line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Oh, now you got me. Hi.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Actually, I was going to ask you about what you thought about the Cannon judge, postponing indefinitely the case, and I kind of have a theory or two about it.
All right. What you got?
Well, one, she doesn't want to be embarrassed, and her judgment on this whole thing is just absolute joke anyway. I mean, the whole thing is just not right. The Supreme Court's got to still make their ruling, and they haven't made their ruling, as far as I know, have they, on presidential immunity?
No, not yet.
Right.
Yeah, so that might be part of it. And also, maybe she's waiting to see if Trump actually makes it so he can actually put some people in jail for all this false information that's been thrown around.
Yeah, maybe. It's just, I think this has all become a distraction, or at least a failed strategy on the part of the Democratic Party. Now, does that mean they're going to go quietly and let them just happen?
No. They're going to fund more. But I was just kind of thinking that some of these judges are on a hot seat. I think they're getting embarrassed. Because I had an attorney friend of mine say that, let's say, the Stormy Daniels trial, for instance, I'm going to call it like that. The whole idea of them putting her on stand and they're worried about what they did, what they didn't do, is a big joke because it has nothing to do with any of that.
Right.
And so why are you doing it? Only to embarrass the president, ex-president, late president, however you want to put it. So the whole object of this thing is to make him unelectable in their minds. And the worse they can, the more they can pull out, the worse they can make him look, hopefully, it'll turn voters away. And it does, I'm sure. But the alternative to me, the alternative to me is so abhorrent, I couldn't do it. I mean, Joe Biden is way beyond a joke. And I just could never do that. Now, Robert Kennedy, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. We got some more stuff coming out on him. I appreciate the call, Debbie.
Thank you, hon.
Thank you, Debbie.
272-9228. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and her team are ready to help you with, buying a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer.
That's right.
Or if you're looking to refinance a home. And it was really great when I say Kim Williams and her team, folks. I mean, Madeline Cannon
100%.
is the team there with Kim. And Madeline, it was great seeing her yesterday.
It was.
And she's, if you heard her, that's an example of the sort of advice and expertise you're going to get there at Alabama Home Mortgage. It is a weird time in the economy. Let's be honest about it. So if you are looking to make the right decision for yourself, and like she was saying yesterday, it's not like rents are getting any cheaper.
Right.
Either. And it could be you got a growing family, whatever your situation is, you need to buy a home. They can help you there from pre-approval all the way to closing day and every step in between. And maybe you've got a bunch of debt hanging over your head. Well, a great refinance deal can help you get right on the right financial footing, if that makes any sense, folks. Get that debt off your back. So give Kim and Madeline a call today, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to get your cooling system ready for the long, hot summer. Call today about the advantages of the Clark Club membership to be sure you're covered. Call 277-2125. Better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. Our early summer preview continues for now, but big changes are ahead. Today's high temperature, well, if we make it to 93, that would tie the record. The rain chances are not quite zero, but we'll say 20% chance or less of an isolated random storm somewhere in the area. Breezy this evening, overnight low 73. Thursday's high 89, with showers and thunderstorms likely. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, as the strong cold front approaches the area. That risk of rain continues till Friday morning, then cooler. Friday's high 82 will be in the 50s Friday and Saturday night, and Saturday's high only 77. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Hi, I'm Mark DePlanche with Admiral Movers.
People ask, what makes Admiral Movers different from other movers? It's simple. We take pride in caring for our team, so we know that they will take care of you. All of our team members are Admiral employees. They are all fully background checked and trained in-house. We never hire day laborers. So for your next move, whether it's a commercial move or household move, across town or across the country, call Montgomery's favorite movers, Admiral Movers. Mention code SUMMER10 to save 10% on your next move.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call. 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the River region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the River region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Let's quickly go to east of the Rockies here. Hey, East, how you doing, sir?
Hey, good afternoon. I was really, you piqued my interest when you were talking about female sports, and I wanted to find out what happened to our roller derby situation in Montgomery. I haven't heard anything about that couple of years, but
that's still going strong.
going on,
Yeah. Actually, if they put roller derby, Montgomery's even on TV, I'd watch that.
oh, okay. I thought you would because I remember it from the 70s.
Yes.
But dig this. Let's say Katie Britt does get involved in helping Fetterman change his wardrobe. You know, I mean, I can imagine it's like one of those reality shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's redress the senator or something. And, you know, instead of a hoodie, my suggestion would be either a sweater vest with a concert T-shirt, or how about this? How about a jumpsuit like John Mellencamp?
Ooh. I was thinking like what I suggested to Eddie earlier, Lederhosen. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he's got.
Well,
the option to pull
yeah,
that off.
that's right. Yeah, because he looks like the guy from the movie Burbs.
Yeah, there
You know,
was some
that's
confusion.
kind of the
Yeah.
vibe I was getting when I was listening to him talk. But no, he really is. I mean, he was lucid when he was talking about that, and that was very encouraging. I mean, I wouldn't want something like that to happen to somebody that I knew, and so you know, maybe he'll come around. But it sounds to me like Katie's kind of taking him under her wing, and you know, maybe she could be a good influence on him.
Yeah, and apparently Lindsey Graham likes him too.
I bet he does.
Well, I don't want Lindsey dressing him. So
Right.
that's the thing. I still think he needs to go with the jumpsuit. You know, just as generic, or he could go to Goodwill and get one from you know, some auto garage or something.
There you go.
Let's put him
Logo on
in
the
some
back.
overalls.
Overalls,
Like
yeah.
workman overalls.
Right.
Yeah, junior samples. Yeah, that would work. The white T-shirt and
Yeah.
the whole thing. Yeah, I think that would work out really well. Hey, you guys have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.
See, East.
Yeah, I almost want to say, Fetterman, keep wearing what you're wearing.
I think he needs to.
Because I wonder if he wore something form-fitting, how would that work out for that fella? Or some short shorts?
Oh, it'd be loose.
It'd have to be.
Now, we're going to bring back the like 70s hunky guy where it's like the super short shorts and like
No,
the button-up
the
shirt.
gym shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, nobody wants to see the coat shorts.
You don't want the coat
No.
shorts come back?
No,
It's probably breezy, man. With the hot Alabama summer, it
You're
might
right,
work out.
but it leads to a lot of wardrobe malfunctions.
Well, the ladies have those. Why can't we have them?
No.
Well, nobody wants to see that.
Thank you.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Hey, let's hit this break. Hopefully we'll have Michael Cohen.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Proudful Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, Call us today for your free measure.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist?
That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Hi, I'm Rebecca, owner of Smart Skin Med Spa and Salon. Are you looking for that perfect gift? Get that special someone a gift certificate to use on the services they love. Smart Skin Med Spa and Salon, the only salon, med spa, and day spa located in the heart of downtown Prattville.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. And joining us on the phone line now, we have the one, the only Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, let's remind folks about some of the options you have. Say their washing machine is getting old, or their washer-dryer combo just isn't up to snuff anymore. Or it could be they bought it recently, but they didn't buy the right one. You have options for them there, right?
Well, that's right. So we carry the lines of Maytag and Whirlpool, LG, and Speed Queen. So all of the brands that we carry make front loads as well as top loads. So you can get either style. We've had great success with the front loads. I know in the beginning some people had a bad experience with them, but I think we've learned a lot. The manufacturers have learned a lot, and there's a lot of ways to circumvent some of those issues. But not only do we carry these great units, but we also carry a great detergent made by Excelsior for the units. So they're better for the units, they're better for the environment, they're better for your clothes. It's kind of a win-win. And the way Excelsior is set up, if we sell you a box of it, you actually have a warranty with Excelsior. If you don't like it, you can call them up within 60 days and they'll give you a refund for the full amount, and you get to keep the box of detergent that you have. But it's really good detergent. You use a thimble's worth. We also have a cool device that can mount on the back of the wall that hooks into your cold water line, and it actually oxidizes the water, which is the same concept the hospitals use to clean all of the nastiness that they have to clean. So it oxidizes the water. It even has an extra spigot so that you can actually put that in a bucket if you wanted to mop your floors or wash your vegetables. And the only thing you can't do is you do not want to drink that water. Because it's going to take out the good enzymes in your stomach, but you can rinse your fruit with it and then rinse it with fresh water. You know, the oxidation lasts probably about 30 minutes. So if you're doing a lot of mopping, you have to get 2 buckets full of water. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff that can make your washing experience much better than what it is.
And of course, folks, I have the team to deliver it, to set it up, maybe even take away some old units there. That's why they say they're Cohen's. We deliver confidence. It's great products and great service with a legacy of 60 plus years. I'm looking at thinkcohens.com. You can shop from home in that way. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. And be sure to find Michael or one of his team members. Tell him, hey, we heard about you on that Joey show, on that radio show there.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
so, yeah, come on out and see us. We're here 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. You know, we just want to help you make the right choice, and we want to get you something that you're going to be happy with.
Well, really appreciate it, Michael. Talk again soon. Thank you, sir.
All right. Take care.
See you, bud.
Final hour on a Wednesday coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. FTX, once among the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, says nearly all of its customers will receive the money back they are owed 2 years after its monumental collapse. 2 young siblings died after being swept away by a rapidly flowing creek in Southern California's San Bernardino Mountains. It happened near Mill Creek. The California Supreme Court expected to hear arguments about whether to remove a measure from the November ballot that would make it harder for the state and local governments to raise taxes. The measure would require all new and higher taxes to be approved by voters. The fight comes during persistent criticism California has become too expensive for many of its residents. The Dow ahead 150 points, the Nasdaq losing 31. This is SRN News.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over $30 trillion in debt. If this bubble finally implodes, many Americans will be left penniless and heartbroken. For example, what happens if state and federal pension funds go broke? Or if 401ks and IRAs get cut in half due to hyperinflation? Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, news analyst, best-selling author, and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. People who understand something big is coming. Now's the time to prepare with a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals are among the most proven hedges you can make. And they're even better inside a tax advantage account. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached, so just text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you are blessed with continued prosperity.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. Our early summer preview continues for now, but big changes are ahead. Today's high temperature, well, if we make it to 93, that would tie the record. The rain chances are not quite zero, but we'll say 20% chance or less of an isolated random storm somewhere in the area. Breezy this evening, overnight low 73. Thursday's high 89, with showers and thunderstorms likely. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, as a strong cold front approaches the area. That risk of rain continues till Friday morning, then cooler. Friday's high 82 will be in the 50s Friday and Saturday night, and Saturday's high only 77. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations since we began in 1906. At CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
1819 News.
A federal judge will not dismiss a lawsuit that was filed against the Alabama Attorney General regarding the state's strict abortion laws. The lawsuit challenges the state for seeking to prosecute those who assist a person going out of state to get an abortion. Ever since Alabama's strict abortion ban went into effect in 2022, A.G. Marshall has maintained that under criminal, accessory, and conspiracy laws, those who help arrange or pay for an out-of-state abortion for a woman should be held criminally liable. The Yellowhammer Fund is an organization seeking to assist women in going out of state to get abortions. So that group is now suing Marshall for a violation of constitutional rights of freedom of expression, association, and travel. Marshall recently made a motion to dismiss this lawsuit before U.S. District Judge Myron Thompson. However, Thompson declined to do so. The case will have to proceed through the legal process. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Schaefer with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
An Andalusia native is found guilty of murder by a jury within the U.S. military justice system. 42-year-old Shannon Wilkerson was charged with the 2001 murder of a 19-year-old pregnant soldier, Amanda Gonzalez, at the U.S. Army base in Germany. Wilkerson was 21 at the time. He was discharged from the Army in 2004 and then returned to live in Andalusia. Wilkerson is currently in a detention facility in Pensacola and will be sentenced this coming August. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Have you ever considered turning your home into a rental and build wealth at the same time? People throughout the river region are doing that right now. By investing wisely in the right property or turning your current home into a rental is the secret. Hiring a property manager to professionally manage your property is the way to prosperity. Our company does all of the advertising, personally showing prospective tenants, does a thorough background check and credit report before moving forward. Over 15 critical services are provided to our clients in protecting the asset, but also providing the best residence in your home possible. Collecting rent on time and frequent inspections help landlords feel better about renting their house, and to provide clean, well-kept homes that anybody would be proud to call home. For a complete list of property management services, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his hand. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of News and Views in the afternoon on a Wednesday. Or as we're calling the show online, Joey Clark Live. Like and subscribe there on YouTube. Or you can always watch on the X platform. And for folks just tuning in online, this is just a humble little talk radio show out of Montgomery, Alabama, if you couldn't tell by our accents.
Speak for yourself. I don't believe I have an accent.
Actually, Byron, do you think Eddie has an accent?
We all have accents, man.
I think, honestly, until I go around northern people, I don't hear it.
How much do you watch back the short videos I make, or the...
Damn, you got me.
We both sound pretty Alabama, son.
You got me. You're right.
I sound like a hit.
I've been back too long. I guess the accent is going to come back.
Right, yeah. Like, I've got it too.
Yeah.
Well, it's also me on radio. I talk a little differently off air, as you know. Both of you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little dirtier. A little bit. Just a little bit. But shifting gears here, this is a serious clip.
Okay.
I'd love y'all's take on it, because often you hear about Marxism, communism, or neo-Marxism, or critical theory, all the stuff that's come up. Well, one of the guys who's been documenting a lot of this stuff very well is James Lindsay. He's New Discourses is his website. I know Amy Beth Shaver in the Morning is a big follower of him. It's very much to her credit. I think James Lindsay has been right on the money predicting a lot of things. That said, here's a short clip that started making the rounds today, where James Lindsay is explaining communism is not an economic theory. Communism is not an economic theory. So what is it, James?
Because communism is not an economic theory. It is a religion.
Oh, a religion.
It is a religion that thinks that it has the sole right to seize the means of production of history itself, which means seizing the means of production of society and seizing the means of production of man, who we are, how society is going to condition us and structure us to be who we are. You ever hear that word, social construction? Because the social environment constructs people and it structures who we are. The language is very intentional once you learn to read what they're actually saying. They are trying to seize the means of production of history because they think that they know what the correct end of history is, which is that we're going to live in a communist utopia. And it turns out that the reason they think that is because Karl Marx was answering a religious question, not an economic question, with all of his work. And that religious question he's answering is, who are human beings? What is our purpose in life? Isn't that a question that you expect to hear in a building like this, not in a university campus? Would you expect to hear that question in an economics classroom in a university? Or would you expect to hear that question in a church? Who are we? Why are we here? Those are not economic questions. Those are religious questions. And Karl Marx had an answer. We're a perfectly social species. Just not everybody knows it. We all live for one another and give to one another in perfect harmony, but we have this problem. Because we have private property, we think we're individuals that don't have to do that. And now we're in it for ourselves rather than in it for each other, and we forgot who we are. Does that sound like the story of the fall of man? Because it is their story of the fall of man. This is a religious architecture.
Yeah, private property being the forbidden fruit in that equation. And, I mean, do you think he's off base there in any way? Overstated?
No.
I mean, maybe slightly understated.
Right. It was taking me back to college. This is a little glimpse into why I got frustrated with college. Is I signed up for a course, I believe freshman year, where it's the history of Marxism, like Marxism-Leninism. And I spent, before the class even got started, reading the beginning of the book, where I was fascinated by the philosophical parts of it, where essentially Marx flips Friedrich Hegel on its head, where instead of it's, we're all becoming one spirit, the truth is a spirit that through the dialectic, thesis, antithesis, synthesis, through the clash, and we're all moving towards this one spirit that's almost like godlike. Marx flipped that on its head and said, no, it's all materialistic drives. And it will lead us, and he really is a religious in a lot of ways, because he starts the story, Marx does, with we were living in this communal way to begin. And because of this age, this age, and the material necessities of those ages, we will finally progress back to that communal state, essentially back to the Garden of Eden. After, a big dictatorship of the proletariat, whatever that means, and Lenin took that to mean kill everybody. So did Mao. But I got frustrated because I really got in deep to it. Spent a lot of time. The teacher spent like 10 minutes, and then we moved on. I'm like, what, can we not discuss the philosophical? That seems a little important here. And I think the teacher is an old CIA guy, spent the time in Poland, and even wanted to talk more about the raw history of the Soviet Union and all that was fine. But it's just like, dadgummit, how these things, philosophy in particular, people just throw aside, it doesn't matter. Like, no, so much of what you see goes back to pretty esoteric philosophical debates in our day and age, ones that go back to at least the 60s. Think about all the transgenderism stuff we're seeing. That didn't just come out of nowhere. That started in university departments, talking about, are you a biological essentialist, that because of your biology, you are essentially this particular gender, or can gender and sex be severed from one another, yada, 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 yada.
True story. So Tuscaloosa circa 2002. Didn't know what I wanted to major in. Found myself in an ethics class.
You 18 at this time? 19?
19.
Okay.
And the we were involved in some sort of group final project, and we had to make a compelling case to the rest of the class and, you know, convert them or win them over to our side. We're having this conversation amongst our group, and one of the young ladies said that she doesn't believe that gender is linked to a sex, that it is fluid. And it was the first time I'd ever heard it.
Right.
There was a guy with purple hair, a Misfits t-shirt, you know, like little spikes coming out of his denim jacket. And he looked at me and said, what the is this lady talking about?
Right.
So we went to the professor. The professor looked at her and said, I have no idea what you're talking about. There is literally no way that you can, you know, present this in an articulate way and
logical
solve it to the class.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
see, I purposely signed up for some of the gender and politics feminism classes just to argue with the teachers.
I thought you were trying to find some chicks, but
that's why I did it.
That's what I thought. I mean, that's a gimme.
I thought about that, but that's just
that's
like the creepy route, man. No, you know what I'm talking
make
about.
It creepy, Joey.
I'm sorry, being like an overt male feminist just to sleep with chicks is inherently creepy.
Hello, acting. Hello, acting.
Now you're creeping me out.
Sorry, just trying to get you laid. My bad.
Just why don't you stop worrying about that? How about that?
Because I want to see that other side of Joey.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all.
Let's back it up, fellas.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here right now. Glad you're here right now. But no, I remember reading and learning about this stuff where I essentially said to the teach, like, hey, I think the nuclear family should, and she started screaming at me about like female-led matriarchal societies and
really,
and like, have you ever heard of Hippolyta? I'm like, what are you talking about? Heard of the girdle and Hercules, but like, what are you even talking about here?
The department that I was in New College, so it was the most liberal professor on campus.
Okay.
Who still had no clue
No idea.
what this lady was talking about.
See, I'm talking 2002.
2001, 2002.
See, in my time frame's more 2008 or so. So, yeah, these things develop and they take time. A lot of it used to be what's woke was called politically correct. Right. There's all sorts of stuff that has its roots. And you think, oh, those are just the weirdos that'll never do anything. But they're the ones that are the changing the world and changing the conversation often.
It'd be interesting to see chronologically hashtags. You know, like this led to this, led to this, led to this.
272-9228. And I just appreciate Lindsay's approach on this because I think economic Marxism, with the emphasis on, say, economic class, is failed. Like, and it never took in America. Never took in America at all because the middle class in America is actually, for most of our history, doing all right. Like, even with like people who are like, I want a union, back when it really was those big fights with manufacturing, were not full-blown Marxist. They just wanted some benefits and some protection.
More pay. The promise of more pay. Who wouldn't want that?
Right, but they never quite became as radicalized. Like, Americans wanted their stuff too much. Americans were too proud of America to tear it down. Like, we were very, very, and continue to be, though we're eating at it, rich, despite all the theories of Marx. So the shift became more of a cultural critique of America. And that's where you now see all the criticisms of race and gender, the feminism's iteration, this queer theory. There's even things now like fat studies, when you hear about like people being ableist and all these stuff. And they always want to boil it down to, well, don't be mean to people. And I'm like, I generally agree with you, but that's not what you're doing here.
Right.
Not what you're doing here at all.
That whole "don't be mean to people" thing, it doesn't buy with me. And maybe it's just a different generation. Being honest with someone is not necessarily being mean, but because they didn't like what you said, they can flip that as you're being mean to me. No, I'm being honest with you. And I'm probably the only person in your life being honest with you.
Right.
You know,
Appreciate that.
Sorry you got your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
You know, that happened to people once upon a time.
Well, and it shows up in like a lot of bad art, a lot of bad media. There's a lot of stuff out there. For instance, Hillary Clinton's feminist Broadway musical, Suffs, that's spelled Suffs.
Yeah.
Suffs isn't doing too well at the box office despite receiving a slew of Tony Award nominations and mainstream media coverage. It's almost like this stuff is like contrived.
You think?
So like we'll push out Hillary Clinton's new idea and it'll be fierce. And we'll get the media on it. We'll give the Tony Award nominations to people like, well, maybe it's good if the Tony Awards is recognizing
that was the plan,
it. But it's a nearly 3-hour musical.
Oh, good Lord.
Is there something about being like rooted in your vagina? Like, my goodness, like what is this about? It's about the rise of the suffragette movement. Not far off. Features women and gender non-binary performers. The show's description reads, everybody ready for this? Again, this is the new feminist Broadway musical that Hillary Clinton helped put together. It's 1913. It's 1913, and the women's suffrage movement is heating up in America, anchored by the suffragists, suffs, as they call themselves.
I never knew that.
I thought it was like suffragists or like Suffragette City. That's a great
That's
song
what I
by
wanted to
Bowie.
say, but I didn't want to sound like the idiot in the room. But Suffragette City.
Where was this held?
This is let me keep reading the description here, but this is like a Broadway musical. But it's 1913 and the women's movement is heating up in America, anchored by the suffragists, suffs as they call themselves, and their relentless pursuit of the right to vote. Reaching across and against generational, racial, and class divides, these brilliant, flawed women entertain and inspire us with the story of their hard-won victory in an ongoing fight. So much has changed since the passing of the 19th Amendment over a century ago, and yet we're reminded sometimes we need to look back in order to march fearlessly into the future. No wonder, like, the vast majority of women say, I am not a feminist. Like, they believe in basic equality and things won, yes, by the original suffragists. But, like, this is nonsense.
Do they expect this to appeal to a large amount of women? I can't see it's. I just don't know of any women in my life that would find this interesting, much less for 3 hours of that.
So the reason I asked, where it was actually being held, the non-binary performers kind of threw me off. So I just had a question about what kind of bathrooms they have at the Sondheim Theater.
Mm-hmm.
They have one gender neutral bathroom and every other is binary. Well,
interesting.
Yeah.
Weren't gender-neutral bathrooms a thing already before all this movement and woke stuff?
But I just love how there's one.
Yeah.
In a place where we're
checked the
wrapping our
box.
arms around this.
That's just letting you know
Even
we
they
checked the box.
acknowledge that most people don't want to participate in that.
But apparently the show played at 81% capacity last week and dipped to 78% capacity the week before.
Everybody's family came out to support them.
Right.
Yeah.
To put the numbers in perspective, the new Broadway musical Limpika? I don't know. Just posted a closing notice after playing to 83%. Hillary Clinton is one of the main producers of Suffs and has politicized the musical from the outset. Oh my goodness, guys. There's I could play this. There's a portion of you don't want to hear a song from Suffs?
Please no.
It's about women and being empowered and having the right to vote and pretend to be in control like all the men.
Dude, there's a lot of testosterone in
Yeah, I just.
This is why it needs to be remedied.
All right. Fine.
This is why it needs to be remedied. I'm just like, we have to grow, gentlemen. You have to expand your horizons and know who you really are.
I'm pretty good with who I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yeah, pretty good with
I
it.
didn't know.
I know what I like, what I don't like.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to play it anyway.
Stop
because
trying to groom me, Johnny.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I feel like I'm happening here.
Scouting America. But I have not heard this. This is apparently an excerpt from Suffs. And from Jack Posobiec is saying it's somehow actually worse than everyone expected. So, it's one thing for us to read the description, make fun of the ideas and stuff. Let's actually listen in together on what the heck this is. It's only 39 seconds. Can we stand 39 seconds of this?
Of Yoko Ono type stuff? No, I cannot.
Let's listen in together. Anybody got a gun? I'd like to end this hellish facade right now.
I do have a suggestion.
Yeah.
If Bill would come out with the sats at the end,
Well, that'd be all right.
and bring that, like he might be able to
He can
tie it
bring that
somehow,
together.
You know,
But honestly, I would rather watch an entire season of the WNBA than to go and I'd pay for my own tickets.
well done, sir. That's why you're a pro.
Saying.
272-9228. There's some of the stuff they come up with. And it's amazing. They'll throw whatever at the wall to see what
Who
sticks.
puts their money behind this crap?
Wait a man to be heard.
I mean, I understand if you get a call from Hillary Clinton
And I love that like chorus callback. Equality.
It's just horrible. I can understand if Hillary calls you and says, hey, you got no choice. You're going to have to invest. Just like if she called you today, Joy, and said, hey, I need you to come to my new play. You better show up.
Well, and imagine being like young and broke in New York trying to make it in the theater world, acting world, and you finally get a call back.
And you're like, I got this.
And you got to tell your friends, well, what you get? What's the musical? It's Suffs.
Imagine telling your family, I need
What
you
does
to come
that mean?
support it. Yes, you have to buy the tickets.
I thought you were going to get the Book of Mormon. You know?
I almost think that fake Joey Tribbiani play about Freud is better than this.
Anything, dude. Anything. This is awful. Awful.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
There's Roger.
Hey,
Roger.
I think she's got duplicate photos and videos of Epstein's Island, how she gets her funded, correct?
That can do. That can
That'll do it, yeah.
Yes, sir. Write the check.
Yep.
You may have already talked about it. I saw it. It's an advertisement for a book. It's the Babylon Bee. It's called Woke Jesus. Get on YouTube and
Oh, I've been watching some Woke Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
I sent it to my wife and my daughter. My daughter thought it was sad. My wife called me and cussed me for 3 tomorrows.
You know it's good then.
Going to hell. That's I'm like, it's humor, honey. It's humor. So, but that's it. You should play it. I mean, what must I do to be saved? Be less white. That was my favorite.
I don't know. I hear woke Jesus, and I just want to yell, he ain't in there.
Yeah, well.
Are we going to have Craig on this week? We missed our vocabulary lesson last week.
Yeah, he had a doctor's appointment, so he should be on this Friday.
Well, we will tune in to learn one new word a week.
Oh, I got a new word today.
Yeah, Byron's stepping up to the plate here. New word,
Hold on.
everybody.
Wait. Scholasticide.
Scholasticide.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
Use it in a sentence.
That is what's happening to the schools over in Gaza as performed by our government or the Israeli
So
government.
it's a portmanteau of scholastic and genocide?
Apparently. We're going to just
add side.
mangle 2 words together.
See.
Maybe they should learn not to hold hostages and kill people. That then they wouldn't have to be scholasticized.
You colonizer.
Maybe Hillary should create a play about that and perhaps do it over there in Gaza.
We demand to be heard.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that should happen to some of these college kids on those campuses. But when you look at them, you'd have to pay people to rape them. Them is some ugly women. Somebody should have told us that Subaru was the car of lesbians, okay? But then we would have known.
Somebody had to tell you.
I was going to say.
Who would have thought it? I mean,
Well,
it should be
it's a very
sign that the
dependable
Subaru
economic
dealer.
car. Very
It
sensible.
says if you buy this car, you will get hit on by lesbians. My wife is like, what are all these women looking at me? So I'm like,
I think what we have here is a case of red state versus blue
Yeah,
state.
yeah, a little bit of that. Roger, just like Bo, you went a little too far there. So can I recommend to you Fake Dr. Phil? It's a brand new comedy thing. I think you'd like
I
some
think
Fake
you'll like
Dr.
it,
Phil.
Roger. I really do.
I'm going to Google it. Let me get to a stopping point.
You're going to like it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Roger.
272-9228. Line 3, you're on there. Who's this?
Hola.
Hello, Eric.
Hey, they did have transgender bathrooms. They just scrapped that family name that they had on there, the family bathroom, and just now they put it transgender. Because I don't want to
Correct.
misgender any excrement, but I'm not sure the toilet can tell. I don't think the toilet cares. You put in it what you put in it, and I don't think it's checking. It's checking. Why do we care what you do in the bathroom?
Sorry.
Kill me now.
We didn't even make the 39 seconds. I had to try to finish
Thank
the last
God. I was looking for a run.
That was a nice run at the end, vocally at least.
I guess everybody can wear a miniskirt now. They're not worried about women with their balls showing, so, I mean, she got that going for her.
I do think the short shorts will make a comeback, like those Larry Bird shorts.
They're very uncomfortable.
Oh,
too, Joe.
hey.
They are?
Yes, as you get older. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
You just got to make sure that when you're wearing those shorts, if they're too short, you got to make sure you wear the proper hairnet and stuff, You don't want anything, you don't want to get anything in there, you know what I'm talking about?
Let's not get ourselves into that trouble to begin with.
Now, you reminded me of Wayne Campbell, and I have a collection of hairnets and name tags. Swing.
Swing. Swing. Well,
No, it's just like I've been making the point all day. After watching that roast of Tom Brady, it's amazing to see that sort of rude boy America, and women too. Like, it's not just a guy thing. Just see America come back unsuppressed by this stupid moralizing cult religion called woke. It's beautiful to behold.
Well, yeah. They start running out of other people to go after. They start going after their own because, that's just what they do. After everybody else is just like doing whatever to make you shut up, then the people that hold that ideology are end up essentially going after themselves.
Do you know how loud these people are about to get?
Oh, yeah.
Now that we're not really paying attention.
Oh, it's going to get bad.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
why I
Look
keep
at
saying
me,
Trump's
look at
election
me.
will be a miracle if he gets back into the White House. They're not going away quietly.
No, quietly. But I don't know. I think we ought to have an exercise in civics where the authorities exercise the laws that are on the books. When people are breaking those laws, they exercise what's on the books the way that it's supposed to be done, and we just go back to, you know what? You want to act like a jackass, that's fine, but I don't have to pay attention to you, and you don't get to do that here. And if you do want to do it here, that's fine. We have a space for it. Fill out the paperwork, fill out the proper applications, and then do whatever you want to. Go act like an idiot. But we're under you don't have the right to make me listen to you. You have the right to say whatever you want to, but I'll ignore the excrement out of you. I've been married for a long time. I can look right at you and not hear a word you said.
Selective hearing.
Yeah, no, I'm very good.
Amazing thing.
Yeah, I'm very good at it. I'm not sure what you just said. I got to run, Eric.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Later, dog.
And it's one of my favorite lines. Just because I'm looking at you doesn't mean I'm listening to a word you just said. Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Papa B.
Hey,
Papa B.
Papa B.
Yeah. No, I'm an expert at that, man. I mean, my wife will be just yammering on about something. I don't know what. And then she says, "You're not even listening to me." And I don't know how, but somehow I got like a tape recorder. I can repeat back the last 5 words, maybe up to 10 or 15 words. Like, yeah, I'm listening. She said blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Do you think
And
that's
it's just,
habit?
I mean, it's a total head fake, man.
Yeah.
Because I truly am not listening.
Or learned behavior?
Is it habit or learned behavior?
It's learned behavior.
It's
It's
learned, totally
yeah,
learned.
it's like when you're working out loud
You
equipment.
got to practice.
Tune it out.
You got to practice it, that kind of thing. I mean, it takes a lot of discipline and practice to learn how to do that.
So what's the immediate response? You're right, honey. I'll get right on that. Or
whatever I need to say, man, to get to,
Can't use the same one every time because it'll catch on.
You know, hearing this, especially from a married man, I'd imagine for a few years now, no wonder there are broads on Broadway singing, "I demand to be heard."
30.
Well, we call them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You just say whatever it takes to, get, to put a plug in the conversation. But anyway,
I do truly believe women have to get out about 5,000 words a day, and if they're
No,
not,
they do.
And if they're not around other people that can absorb those words, when you get home, you get it. And that's
and I think it's a marriage thing, right? Because I genuinely do like talking to women. It depends on the woman, but I like talking to women. It's fun,
Say you
but
talk
it's
to the same woman for 20
right,
plus
okay,
years, Joey.
right.
It's not crime, though. It's like
Joe, you ready to sign up, man? Let's go. Let's get.
Well, no, Byron, this is what I do. I am not married, and I get all the married guys in trouble on the airwaves. Yeah,
And we keep telling them, you need to get married, like we are.
Yeah.
He rarely listens to the program, but I'm sure that some of his friends have probably let him know.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, Eddie, the truth of it, it literally is about 30,000 words. Men have to get out about 5,000 words, and honestly, I can live on a lot less than that. But with women, I've heard that it's like 30,000 words. Maybe somebody can call in and tell me what it really is, but I think that's about right.
Is there a lot of women in talk radio, Joey?
No, there's not too many.
You got the verbiage.
Like Dana Loesch comes up. She's good.
It would be.
I just wanted to say,
Ladies in the
look,
morning.
you know, I've got, I was going to say a motto, but it's not really a motto for life. Kind of an axiom or a life truth that I go by when it comes to woke stuff. And it goes along with something like, I just refuse to suffer fools, not even lightly, but even a little bit. Okay? So if you coddle human error, what are you going to get? More human error. You know, it's like dealing with a child, man, dealing with children. And they're going to constantly push, okay, you didn't do anything with that, so we're going to do this. How about that?
Yep.
What about that outrage? What about this outrage? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, it's just constantly pushing. That's what we're kind of dealing with. But it is a little bit worse than that because it's a psychopath type of thing. Like if a man, you know, a psychopath man thinks he's a woman and, you know, he pushes those kinds of envelopes. The worst thing you can do is sit there and call him or her or she or man, whatever, because all that's doing is encouraging, you know, that psychopathic behavior.
Yep.
And yeah, it's going to make him mad to be called. I've seen those guys get upset because you wouldn't say, you know, ma'am or her or she or whatever, you know, his preferred pronoun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the best thing for them. And so, and also to Eric Dogg's point, you know, you're just not going to get me to go along with the nonsense. I'm not going to do it. And I refuse to.
Well, and whether you're dealing with like the wife stories or just all this nonsense, a good line is like, I apologize, I can't hear you over my privilege. I just like it. I'm sorry, I was born this way.
Ooh, I hear you.
I refuse to apologize too.
Right.
I am what I am.
Right.
And that's all that I am, says Popeye the Sailor Man.
That's right.
So, anyway, guys, enjoying the show as usual, and take my call.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Pop. See you, Papa B.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health.
Yes, it
and
is,
hey,
Robert.
fellas, you know, two things can happen as we get older. One is erectile dysfunction,
Mm-hmm.
which is no fun for anybody. I just ask. Not fun at all. But it also could be a more generalized problem, like low testosterone.
Right.
And so these are not things to deny, put off, be embarrassed or ashamed about, and don't wait to get it fixed. I know guys hate going to the doctor. I don't like going to the doctor, but Montgomery Men's Health was created to take care of guys just like us. And the reality is pills often quit working, and guys start making excuses for not coming to bed. There are actually studies now that show that men will be more irritable and argumentative before bed on purpose just to avoid failing at intimacy. They'll sort of ruin it before they even begin. So, guys, if you're lacking motivation, energy, including a decrease in sex drive, or just feeling insecure about it, and you always feel tired, like you're walking through your life in a fog, seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, knowing whether you have low testosterone is huge in combating some of these issues. And the providers there at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup, plus a consultation for only $99. And Montgomery Men's Health has low T treatments that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido, which, as we've been reminding folks, is just a fancy Latin word for sex drive.
Correct.
You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. 440-3663. That's the number for Montgomery Men's Health. That's 440-3663. Or go to montgomerymenshealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Is spring cleaning making your floors feel, well, a little worse for the wear? Don't just clean them, upgrade them. Carroll's Carpet Flooring America can help you transform your home with beautiful new flooring and countertops. Carroll's Carpet is locally owned and operated, so you're supporting the community. At Carroll's Carpet, you'll get expert advice to help you find the perfect flooring, hardwood, carpet, laminate, tile, or even luxury vinyl. They'll work with you to create the exact look you've been dreaming of. Carroll's Carpet, new floors this spring, makes your whole home sing. carrollscarpet.com on the Northeastern Boulevard.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. Big weather changes ahead. Our summer preview is about to come to a screeching halt. Tonight becoming breezy, overnight low 73. Rain chances 20% or less tonight, but showers and thunderstorms are likely tomorrow and tomorrow night. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, as a strong frontal system approaches. Thursday's high 89, but cooler Friday with a high of around 82. We'll be in the 50s on Friday and Saturday night. What a big change. And Saturday's high only in the 70s. Should be a nice Mother's Day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Check out our special spring savings on Kubota zero-turn mowers, like the Kubota Z411. At 10 miles an hour, it makes cutting around bushes, beds, and trees a breeze. Powering Alabama. Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey Clark. Got 2 co-hosts here today. Eddie Bader, he's the one in the orange. And Byron Sheehy, he's the one in the Orioles jersey with the ball cap.
Yeah.
And on the phone, we have Simpler Dave.
Yes, we do.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, what I've learned over the years is that just say Eddie and I went fishing, and Eddie didn't feel good that day, and we may have spoke, 10 words, And then when I drop old Eddie off, I say, Eddie, you want to go fishing in a couple of weeks? Yeah, okay. And then 2 weeks, we'll go fishing. But if I get out of the driveway and we haven't exchanged words, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? There's something wrong. No?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. See, that's you got to be able to read each other's thoughts and minds as you mature in the relationship, Joey.
That's very wise. It reminds me of a Patrice O'Neill joke. He's like, we want women around,
Right.
but not like here. Like somewhere in the house, but not here in front of me right now. Like that sort of thing.
Hey, I wonder if they burned any bras during that play. You know, going back to
That one
showing
chick
their
that
power.
was singing looks a little manly. She's kind of a tall glass of water. Who's not seeing these people?
A lot of Americans, apparently.
Well, stay away from the purple hairs and the crazy chicks, Joey, and y'all have a good day.
That's half the fun, though. The crazies. You guys know what I'm talking about.
You do?
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Crazy women.
Unfortunately, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody has a story.
I got a book. What chapter you want?
Well, we did hear some of the rumors of you in college, so yeah, I imagine you do have a book.
The unabridged version.
Oh, the unabridged version.
Nice.
Nice.
Joey, did you see what happened to one of your heroes, Ric Flair, this week?
No, what happened to Ric Flair?
He was down in a Gainesville restaurant, and they got him on video, unfortunately, but he kind of showing his butt a little bit. He drunk, obviously. I mean, he's just plastered. And he ended up telling a bartender, or telling the waitress, that he would give the waitress $1,000 tip if she would call the bartender a-hole. And that's kind of where it all. And in the end, they asked him to leave, and he said, "I'm going to go on social media. I'm going to bash you guys." So they kind of beat him to the point by going, "Hey, when he starts bashing us, this is why." And there's probably a good 5-10 minute conversation with him and the bartender. And the bartender's being honestly as nice as he can be, but Ric Flair is just
drunk.
And got an anger issue with the bartender at that moment. Yeah.
Oh, there are plenty of Ric Flair stories.
And he's in his, got to be mid-80s, late 70s?
Late 70s, I think. Oh, that's sad.
It is, because even if I was that bartender,
almost
I'm a
died the other.
Ric Flair fan. I would not want him to be mad. I'd want to have a good kind of interaction with
Well, he
him.
walked off Kill Tony. He's like, y'all are being too mean to each other.
I forgot all about that, Joey.
I'm like,
he
Rick,
did.
do you
He
not
got up and walked
understand?
out. Yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
No, and it's just there's something weird going on with him because he almost died a few years back, and then he got like clean for the most part, and then he was on all those edibles for a little while, like his own edibles, branded, and now he's, I guess, back on the sauce.
Back on the sauce.
Well,
bad.
you mean he might have had trouble or something?
Yeah,
I think being older and angry, it kind of reminds me of a little dementia issue, and kind of like we might have with our president.
Yeah, but if you think about all the Ric Flair stories, say from like that 30 for 30, it's not exactly wholesome.
No, it's not. But he just seems to be, I hate saying it, but an angry old man right now.
Sometimes the party ends.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it seems like the case. Yeah.
Yeah. On that dour note, should we hit another break?
Yeah,
Try to
one
reset this thing, have a final segment that's at least happy, not about our heroes becoming old, angry drunks. Thanks, Eddie.
There's a cruise ship worker arrested, too, for stabbing somebody on the boat.
What?
He was also old and angry.
Yeah. Might have been the case, yeah.
I've been working on this cruise
Imagine,
for
Joey.
50 years.
You're on a cruise.
Seen all these attractive young people.
And there's a murderer about while you're on the cruise.
Right.
Yeah.
How about this? Let's hit the break before we get in trouble.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you thinking of selling your home but not sure where to start? I'm Hannah Grantham, and alongside my partner, Eddie Bader, we're your real estate professionals at Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
Selling your home can seem daunting, but with us by your side, it's a breeze. We're here to guide you through every step, ensuring your home reaches its full market potential.
Professional photos, captivating listing descriptions, and our vast network means your home sells fast and for the best price.
Give me, Eddie Bader, a call at 334-322-0662.
And me, Hannah Grantham, a call at 334-368-6358, and let's get your home listed and sold.
Hey, this is Lyle from Margaret's Exquisite Jewelry, and I do my radio advertising on Blue Water. I'll tell you what, I use most of the stations, and I've been using it for so long. It's hard to tell with the money you spend on advertising if it does any good. When they come in and say, I heard you on the radio, I know it's Blue Water, and I love Blue Water.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Excuse me. I'm your host, Joey. Eddie and Byron here in the studio with me. And a second, call Ray Bowles, will you?
I'll do that.
But you were just talking off air. When it comes to VP selection, people are going to be asking this more often. I'm not saying it would be the best. It's necessarily my preferred, though I'm not going to hate it either. But I think it's going to be Tulsi Gabbard.
And I was led to believe that you're correct.
Without giving away too much detail, like sourcing, but like why? Like, is she seriously in that conversation?
She is, I'll put it to you this way. I was told that the man said a long time ago that he wanted an attractive female to be his running mate.
Right.
No surprise there.
I'm not surprised by that either.
And
well, because that's Trump's hiring pedigree, like that, or legacy. That's what he's been doing for a while.
So the back and forth, though, is, like we were talking about the different crosstabs or, subgroups and stuff like that. And they're, I don't know if you can actually bring some of those soccer moms in Wisconsin and suburbs of Pennsylvania back. So to me, that is just more ensuring that you cover your bases in the heartland.
Well, and you got to think of it in terms of Tulsi has made a turn that's much more into this new internet culture, number one. She is very attractive. Mm-hmm. And it's not just looks, folks. It's also, we were having that radio conversation about, women in radio. Not all, but you'll notice like Laura Ingraham, Dana Lausch, like a lot of women,
in radio do well have a deeper voice than, say, the average woman.
Well,
and Tulsi
yeah,
has a little more baritone in her voice. She has a good speaking voice, so to speak.
Do you remember the debate when I believe it was the all-white jumpsuit?
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, she kicked ass that debate.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of put her on the radar then, and is why she was, where she is now.
Well, and to say that she's uniting with Trump and she was once the co-chair of Bernie Sanders' campaign, like that's going to turn off some people on the right, but I think there are a lot of folks on the right who are like, well, we're going with whatever Trump says.
The right's not going anywhere.
Right.
And, well, the real right, you got your Paul Ryan right that's trying to do
what did he say on Fox the other day? It was, I can't vote for Trump. He doesn't have the character to be president.
Something to that effect.
Go eat your green beans, you beanhole. Yeah. Let's go to Ray Bowles.
What's up, Ray
Carpet. Hey,
Bowles?
Ray?
I'm just in here listening to y'all's conversation. I tell you what is important is you have a very good-looking salesperson when you're buying carpet.
Oh.
And apparently that's Steve Bart, not me. Didn't know sleep last night because of that conversation.
Really?
Yeah, I had Andy go out and give me some just for men.
And?
I'm not using that.
Why not? What's the deal, Ray? Did you even try a little bit of it, or you just?
No, I feel like that. I can't dye my hair. I don't know why women want to dye their hair. This is the way God made us. I'm good with it. When I get my new body in heaven, I'm going to be awesome. I can't wait. But until then, I'm just going to live in the one I got.
All right. I like a guy that he's comfortable in his own shell.
And take it this way, you look like the patriarch, like the man in charge.
That's right. Until you see Dad, and then you say, no, he's way over.
Till Dad steps up. That's what's going on here, boys.
But no, in all seriousness, if y'all need a floor, summer's right around the corner. If the lake house needs to get done, if you're thinking, I got to leave for a couple of weeks on vacation, we can do it while you're gone. Leave us the key. I do that all the time. Yeah. So give us a call today. Let's start with getting ready for summer at 334-285-8117.
Getting that number for Private Carpet, 285-8117. And be sure when you call 285-8117 that you tell them that you heard Ray Bowles, the patriarch, here on the radio show with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, have a great day.
You too, Ray. Take care, brother.
The paraphernalias, or something like that. So did we learn anything today?
Oof.
No, I'm not going to Broadway anytime soon.
Yeah.
There are very good musicals out there, but yeah, some of these.
Give me one.
The Book of Mormon.
Yeah, The Book of Mormon's great.
Okay. Give me two.
I would say The Sound of Music's a good movie.
Yeah, I enjoy the movie.
It's a musical.
For the longest time, I could just quote it word for word.
Like Phantom of the Opera is a good musical.
Okay.
Like maybe it's not your cup of tea, but they're.
I didn't say
like,
it was
they're
bad.
at least they're
okay.
Man of La Mancha. I saw that at ASF a few years back. It was very good.
Good for you. That's good.
Dream the Impossible Dream.
And living the impossible dream.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. That's who Don Quixote was talking about.
There you go. That makes you feel good. Yeah.
Yeah. So we learned don't go to Broadway anytime soon.
The crazy ex-receiver from the Skulls.
Yeah, Antonio Brown.
Yeah. He's waning support.
Really? Yeah, no, and it's younger black men 40 and under tend to be moving away from Biden. Now, does that mean they'll necessarily go into the arms of Trump or the Republicans? No.
Not necessarily, but just the fact that they're putting their opinions out there, I can appreciate it. A lot of the young black men with money.
Well, all right, so we're talking about young black men. What about older black men? Because those are the
That's
ones
going to be your tough call.
That's talk about traditional church-going folks who don't necessarily agree with the transgender woke agenda, that whole wing, the progressives.
Those are the ones I cannot figure out for the life of me.
I think we may see.
Well, I think in that case, if you're talking about folks, in their 60s, 70s, 80s, you're talking about folks that still truly remember the legacy of the civil rights movement.
And a lot of them are going to pick party no matter what.
Right, and they're remembering also, like, I think they're going to stick with the Democrats, even as weird as the Democrats have become.
I think they're going to stick with the Bible and church more so than the party.
I would
Yeah,
I
but
would
a lot of these
I would have
churches,
thought so,
man.
but I don't see the pushback from that segment of society on the transgender so much.
Apparently, the Orange Man's banking on about 17-18%.
Which is unreal for a Republican.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it depends on, again, it's early, folks.
Yeah.
It's very early.
Oh, plus we got a whole summer of crazy coming. You know that.
I mean, the dog days of spring are here now, so we can only know what it's going to be like in August.
Right. And also, all these folks who now feel politically homeless, yeah, like, oh, they're leaving the Democrats. The Republicans suck too. So they're like,
I think they're jumping side to side.
Right.
They're just homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's us versus them.
well, it was a good show, gentlemen.
I enjoyed it.
Appreciate y'all being here. Want to do it again tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We'll do it again tomorrow.
You gonna have snacks?
You can have as many snacks as you want.
But you're not bringing snacks. Right?
I'm not going to bring you snacks.
I'll bring you a snack.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
You know how to get along with folks.
Yeah.
Whereas I
Sometimes
refuse.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott.